on if things go late. You can play with Maokai to kind of defend for them. NIP, I mean, they could go for the poke Varus. The Scion makes it very tanky. Very, very tanky. However, what that means is that because you have 3 tanks, 2 carries, if Yone manages to ping an ult, if Rakan manages to ping an ult onto an Aurora out of position, a Varus out of position, NIP lose half their carries in 1 swell foop, which is what felt swell foop.
I'm gonna keep that one. It's a swell foop.
In 1 swell foop.
What is a foop?
We'll find out in this game. You'll only find that out here in gameplay. OMG, very good different options for them, but NIP have some very strong individual champions like the Skarner and that Varus.
Will it be like Flandre's Scion from yesterday, which
that
we had a 50 seconds,
crazy.
50 seconds of Scion running at a Nexus, and it took 4 people to stop him. But here we are. Alex, do you need to go do some stuff?
I need to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I request you bring in my espresso when you are done?
I can go do that.
Thanks very much.
I'm going to need you to figure out the volume. It's been a little bit strange today because I think the feed from Suzhou is a little bit different from the one from Shanghai.
Well,
so just listen to chat on what the volume's like when we get into game, and we'll work it out.
Okay. Right, chat. I'm requiring some assistance from you at some point here to figure out exactly what we need to do with the volume stuff. Hey, Stampeg, let's go, NIP. Fair, very fair. Doing be my gut. What did we cook? He's not actually cooked that much. He's gone towards his Aurora. He's been very good on it, but it's a very normal champion for him, really, isn't it? Ooh, pull this across a little bit. That's better. Whoa. Welcome back. Briefly, I brought my coffee, guys. I'm very excited. Warming up the kitchen. Yep. OMG Gyos, coordinated but not at the level here of the NIP volume. A lot of do and be signs. He's a very popular man, guys. That's very telling that OMG have the win percentage, nearly all points in the game from aside from 20 bandage. That's kind of crazy, actually. Been watching all week in school without sound. Oh, there you go. You know, I think that bot might be wrong, considering Mecha spent quite a lot of time on this channel. But there we go. The win percent as the game goes on, yeah. Based on a model. Exactly. So it's all statistical modeling stuff. No Lethal Temple, Nash's Aurora. I know that was a thing in the jungle for a while. Can NIP still win this group? Yes, they can. They probably want to try and win at least 2 today to make that happen, though. At least 2. And theoretically 1 against the other team that took the game off them. I don't know how easy that will be because, of course, it's top esports who look pretty nasty. Holy moly, Mecha spent about a grand total of 16 days, 20 hours and 30 minutes watching the channel. That's a lot of time in the channel, Mecha. My days. And thank you for sticking around, 1,000 Kites. I know this may not be quite so much one you care so much about. Lord, oh good, it's in English. Yes, it is. Hello. Easy win. We'll see. We'll see. I think, obviously, like, the statistical modeling we saw earlier is, only a few percent different. Even if often that is all we ever get. We don't get that grand delta in win percentages here. Though they do tend to hold more true for pro than at most levels, I find. But again, we aren't really talking then about the discrepancy. From level of play from the different teams. Question, chat, as we're all kind of having a bit of fun with the watch time stuff. How is the volume, guys? Does it need changing at all? How are we feeling? Linfeng eating a pretty ugly trade there from the Aurora. Harry gets a big chunk down. Oh man, Linfeng needs to be really careful. There is a flash weirding combo, especially with that passive now available. Just do and go for it. Flash EQ. Dive top now being considered. Skarner's going mid at the same time. That's just an easy kill mid. Shanji's still alive, by the way. They ran out of mana, so they failed the dive top to OMG. Shanji stays alive. Doombi gets a kill mid. Wow. Volume is fine. I think it could be a tad high if you want it to be the same as the past few days. Okay. But this is fine. Gotcha. Well, we'll leave it as is then for now then. The effects could be a little bit quiet. Okay. Well, we'll drop it up a touch then, guys. Not lots, but we'll drop it up a touch. Okay, that'll do. So, NIP got their kill. Lane swaps to come on through. Not really saved anyone from lanes though. Didn't have to burn much in that bot lane, in that mid lane gank either. Aki just drove through Raptor Pit Wall. Both bot lanes resetting for top. Grub spawn in under a minute. Doombi continue to get some good auto trades out there into Linfeng. I saw that. Mr. Minion. Silly Doombi. Aki on a very golden scorpion. Actually, hang on. Linfeng's just burned his E. Flash. Boulder. Oh, I would have debated flash driving him. Not gonna lie. So where do we go now? I suspect around grubs. Oh, I need to sneeze. Oh no. I said it now. Am I gonna sneeze? Oh, it's the interminable Schrödinger sneeze. Well, there's grubs numbers 1 and 2 taken. Aki needs to be a bit wary here. Flashes into the pit, looking for the smite, takes it. Gets ulted by the Yone. Can probably look to drive through the wall. Will die here as everyone goes flying on in from OMG. Leave with a really nice flash. Problem is there's still a twisted advance, so he's in danger. Starry just about falls, and Leave gets the attack speed from the passive. Moem in danger. Flash from PP got his red by Moem, but headbutt away on one. Doombi now on over. Linfeng just about going to fall. Doombi then gets to go across the veil again and hang. Nowhere to go. Leave gets another wonderful play from the AD carry, who dodges out on so much there. Some clutch flashes across the board, but it is NIP who come away with 3 for just the head of Aki and PP God on top of that. Alright, so look at this replay. Linfeng initially finds an angle with Heng. Fate C goes wide mostly, so Aki gets a chance to steal away the grubs. And Starry flashes in to secure the kill, and then Lee flashes out in turn to avoid the Q3 from Linfeng. But Hung can still get in range to Nature's Grasp. Not Nature's Grasp, Twisted Advance, that's the name of it. And then we get this weird play where basically PP God tries to flash at the moment, flashes out, and he still gets a double pulverize that gives Leave a lot more time, and that passive attack speed is so ridiculous on the Varus, especially when he's got lethal tempo, right? Like, the attack speed's already very good. Angie, wherever you are, your boy Varus is doing silly things. So, early lead now for NIP. 600 gold. It's in good places. Bot lane, particularly. A plate in mid. It's actually even that play with Aurora quite well. Despite being 1-2 and 1, that extra kill is helping quite a lot here. Up half a wave as well after that. Morning. Oh, will hurt you? Or owl hurt you. Sorry, I apologize. First dragon not taken as yet. What time zones are all of you in for it to be morning? I'm in the European time zone. Suspect if there's any US viewers, they will be very early morning right now. 1,000 guys by the sounds of it. I'm assuming you're a little bit further out east. I'm assuming somewhere Asia related. Considering the suggestion is probably evening. Which would make sense considering the time zone LPL is in. Pacific time zones is 1:21 a.m. Damn, Poby. Texas is 2:30 a.m. But I gotta head into work. Ooh, I'll hurt you. Well, at least we can provide some entertainment for your morning shift. 2:30 a.m. shift for Al Poby. Sorry, Albie, sorry, I'll hurt you. And 1:20 in the morning for TSM Poby. Our US viewer is suffering right now.
Yeah, it does tend to be. It was always one of the things I respected the most about Mazel when he was over on LPL English official broadcasts with myself and Lyric too. The NA casters over there who were casting from 2 a.m. to like 5 a.m. or something.
Not great for the sleep schedule, that.
Yeah, it was pretty difficult. So what we'd end up doing is trading first shift for the NA folks, because it meant that we didn't have to start at 4 a.m. here, and they could start, I guess, at midnight or whatever there. And then the second shift, we'd end up picking up, and they could go to bed at least, you know, before 4 a.m. I guess. That'd end up being the trade-off. Right, okay, so obviously I've been out of the room for a little bit, but it does look like NIP have some first items, and that's kind of spooky when it comes to Skarner and Aurora, so yes. NIP will need to be leveraging that, and OMG will need to be a little careful of that.
So basically there's been two big events that happened. We had a really cool Grubs fight with a lot of really cool flashes, Leave in particular, very clean Varus Grubs fight. Came away 1-0-2, very good play. Doinby also been set up very well on the Aurora. He got involved in that fight around the Grubs, but also got set up for pretty well early on with a really good drive under turret in mid lane by Aki on the Skarner to knock the Aurora Yone into the wall, who'd been chunked out pretty heavily before that. So ends up getting picked off, and that sets up a good starting point. Credit to Linfeng though, he's laning quite well at the minute, has picked up a kill from that fight at Grubs, has now picked up a bit of that CS well. Sometimes happens for Doinby, who does like to roam around a little bit on the Aurora, and can sometimes drop half a wave or so to be involved with his team.
Yeah, so while but while that's happening, you know, down a tiny bit of CS hasn't led to anything.
No, exactly.
80 carry, very far ahead from that piece. Just in terms of raw CS, yes, the Rakan decent at kind of helping you survive any lane really because of the Q healing, but Varus being ahead, little bit concerning here for OMG. Aki is getting punted back away from safety, maybe.
Oh dear, misses his ultimate, but Heng had to burn his own. Linfeng comes on over, eats Varus with the chains of corruption, just dies.
Too much CC. I mean, if he wasn't going to hit by that Skarner ultimate, yeah, there's the Varus ultimate to catch someone else out. NIP have too many tools for OMG to work with, and their damage is way out of position to return any fire.
And again, NIP, we worry about their damage later on, but base damage is on tanks and nothing to sniff at, and this Varus is fed, this is Aurora is fed. The people you need to be fed to do damage in this game are in fact fed.
And one of my favorite things, we saw it against the BLG thing, and I saw someone quoting this on Twitter, so at least someone else found it funny, so I feel vindicated. Was I remember when BLG played the Skarner game, and just the other team just dumped like a million cooldowns into it, and just pretty much every few seconds you can just say, it's a Skarner, and it is just relevant, because you don't kill the Skarner, and the base damages carry you from that side too. Very, very happy at this point with just a Heartsteel to say, I'm just going to get Heartsteel procs, and you're not going to be able to kill me that easily. I'm one of the tankiest champions in the game.
Yeah. I think, again, like, Skarner, there was a conversation from Froxon on Twitter saying, look, I think they were just saying, look, Skarner's not that manageable at the minute because it's just too much in his kit in terms of balancing him.
Surprise, surprise.
Well, yeah, and I think the thing is, it is a cool kit in isolation. I think Skarner's rework, on the whole, has been a successful power fantasy of what the Scorpion should be. I think now the question will become is...
Hang on. Run back, and then here comes Mana.
Flash on him. Fatal comes on through. Starry now over. Leave, no flash, no cleanse. Still trying to turn it out. It's a good headbutt pull from PP God, but it will be not enough to keep Leave alive. Nice combo from OMG, even if NIP did their level best to try and survive it.
Yeah, but they lose both summoners now on Leave. Dermby gets a bit of a chunk out there. I suppose NIP just didn't track where the Kai'Sa was going, because I think you can survive the Rakan and the Yone, not the Kai'Sa flying in at the same time. So bad tracking from NIP in the river to make sure that they were getting safe numbers.
A nice pickup on Astari, who, again, is another one of those LDL Kai'Sa players. He does play this champion quite a lot, folks, so feeling pretty happy about those couple pickups. Valuable to try and mitigate some of the difference that had otherwise started to really balloon in that bot lane.
Okay, so, NIP, bit of a stumble there. Still ahead, still have good grubs. Did lose a dragon. To play the creative long angle. But the big thing for me is, you know, this is a level 1 Kai'Sa. It's not that long range. The fact that NIP fall to disengage is quite concerning. You know, even the Kai'Sa W misses. There was damage overlap there. Not overlapped, overloaded. They had more than they needed. And they end up getting that kill. Leaf still blows both his summoners. At that point, I almost wonder at that point whether it's worth not even blowing his summoners. But he didn't know the Kai'Sa was coming in until after he'd already used them. Not the best there from NIP's bot lane.
Bit of a frustrating moment, especially with things like dragons and heralds spawning in a minute or so apiece. Could end up being very significant here as the game goes on. So, what is the next step of the game? Looks like, on the whole, NIP wanted to play through mid and bot where they've got the shove. I've got 4 of the 6 grubs. It looks like it was split 2 to 1 both times around.
And NIP pushing in towards the spot side. Dragon up in a minute. Herald up in a minute, 30 seconds as well. So both them spawning in the near future. Shanji has teleport, Dermby has teleport. All solo laners have teleport. Neither AD carry has them on the same way though. He getting chunked a little bit.
Yeah, he is. Oh, there's a flash away. As Hung has to back on out on that one.
Leave. No ult.
Gets jumped on, gets headbutted away. Leaf's still going to be in danger, but there's no real follow-up as yet. Leaf's just going to walk away. Throws the Hail of Arrows to slow people out. Aki now body blocking. Doing down to 10% HP, though. They need to back off. That'll be Sion coming in pretty late. Flashes away, still gets knocked up. NIP get out alive.
Very surprised that Starry couldn't pull an ult onto Leave, but maybe without Linfeng there, they didn't feel like they had the damage to achieve that much. But you're absolutely right. The teleports being used now across the place. Linfeng uses his, Shanji uses his to get to the plate. Dermby's now come back onto the map with a third to make that even more of an investment. And they'll be going towards the dragon on the bot side.
So, towards the dragon we go. And we've not really had that chat yet, but it is on hit Varus this game.
Yes,
there's a bit of a conversation chat as well about when you should be running on hit, when you should be running poke. What's the theory?
I mean, I think poke should have been better in this game, but well, okay, no, the problem is in this game, hang on, we might get a contest around the Herald. We might have to have this conversation after. Dermby's walking forward. He does have ult, and he has tier 2 on his ult too.
Herald's still secure, going to throw down that ult. Not to that much avail, all things said and done. A little bit desync with the team. There's a potential option to come back in with that ward. Thank you very much, observing team. Trying to trade this one out, and they just lose immediately. PP got his Harry coming around from the flank. Still going to get the Maokai down back, but Leave just falls at NIP. Bit of an ugly fight. They're in a 4v3. The teleport's flying. Aurora has to go over the wall. They go, what, 1 for 1? No, 2, because Leave died as well.
Yeah, and Leave does die because he's the on-hit Varus that has to get up into melee range. NIP, they are going to have DPS issues later into the game, and the on-hit Varus can stymie that to a certain extent. But by playing the on-hit, you are going into melee range of some very good melee range punished champions, like the Yone, well, Yone, Jace, Kai'Sa can all fly at you. And NIP, they weren't ready to take that fight on topside. They get themselves the dragon out of the objective trade, but they give up a bunch of kills, and they also give up the heralds. OMG now have a moment for a power play across the map, maybe open up a tower with that.
So you can see, they do manage to get the turret mid lane afterwards, at least for NIP, but this one felt a little desynced. Like Doomby wanted to keep people involved in the fight for as long as he could, but this teleport off the side ends up making this really ugly in terms of pinning people into a tricky position. 2MB at least picks up the Maokai. The problem is, though, that when Harry comes along to the other side, Leave just gets absolutely annihilated.
It does, and you know, I think with or without that teleport, it would have been very likely that he ends up getting blasted in that play. 2 items for Doomby. Wow.
Yeah, he's very strong.
Now.
Yeah.
Doomby is fed now, so that'll be what NIP are looking for next. His combo in the last play wasn't the best. The ultimate was okay for the slow to set up. Next time, though, let's see if he can one-shot someone like the Kai'Sa, the Jace, the Yone.
Currently hiding in a bush. There's a ward over the wall there, which is what people taking this one out. Linfeng is also around. But with all of this AP now, does clear out wave pretty damn fast with Elude and Shadow Flame. I know you kind of mentioned the Varus a little bit there, but in a more generic sense, when should you be going for Poke Varus and when should you be going for on hit? In your mind, at the very least.
It's not always simple on that. I mean, so for instance, if you're Viper in the LCK, you can play Poke Varus in any situation. Yeah. Because Poke Varus is insanely lane dominant. It is the more lane dominant value of the two, because you get to go for poke runes, which apply very early into the laning phase. So if you want to dominate lane, obviously Poke Varus is very good. But typically, if you have enough DPS, Poke Varus becomes an option. If there's too much tank on the other side, Poke Varus doesn't really work that well. So if you're against, you know, 2-3 tanks. So for instance, if you were against NIP's composition, it would be a little harder to make that work because the Sion and the Skarner just don't care about it. The Alistair maybe a little bit different on that front, but particularly stuff like Sion and Alistair don't care about Poke Varus. If you need DPS, you need to go for the on-hit though for tank killing. If it's too heavy tank, often that becomes the more preferred option. Unless you're Viper. In that case, just do it all the time. You played it at first hand. It turns out that if you're that good in lane and that good at controlling the early game, Poke Varus is always a good option.
There you go. Question sufficiently answered. Well done.
Sam, I have horrible news for you.
Oh no.
The silly item has been completed by Sion.
Oh no.
For those of you who...
despair.
Oh no.
It's unending.
Oh no. Unending despair. In and off the rift. Linfeng, might actually... Hang on, Sam. There's a Skarner.
Scar.
Scar. That's why I was asking about it, because I saw on the minimap, I'm like, well, we can, you know, fob off about, oh, no. Or we can have a look at Skarner potentially ulting the Yone away. Misses another one. Actually, not the best accuracy on them so far.
No, and actually well played by Linfeng there to hold on to the Q3 to try and get away with that one. Does so. Not quite close enough to the soul to get away with the impale as he comes back and catch him mid Q3. NIP still actually up 2,000 gold here, despite fumbling that last fight somewhat. They are, on the whole, in a decent-ish position. It's a Dragon apiece. Dragon is now spawning in 5 odd seconds. Problem is, Skarner being down that ult for this, a little bit problematic. W goes wide.
Also, you have the 2-item spike coming in through from Poke Jace. The Kai'Sa W's, while they're longer cooldown, still might throw something into the fray as well. So NIP, and now at a range disadvantage. That's another thing about the Poke Varus, by the way. A lot of it is at range. On-hit Varus, low range. Poke Varus, very long range. Your arrows on-hit Varus just don't really do the same amount of value. You don't have the same amount of cooldown for them, which means that if you're playing at long range kind of Poke objectives, of course Poke Varus is going to do more of that. That's an obvious one, right? But against stuff like Jace, and if it becomes an AP Kai'Sa, Varus going to have a few issues there.
Yeah, keep our eyes up. Other thing to note, as we do see the Dragon start up, is on-hit Varus is actually, they're pulling away here. A bit worried about the Atacam being done, as Linfeng is soloing it currently, by the way.
Yeah, he is. Oh, and this is only possible because it's the Ruinous Atacam. You can't do this against the Voracious because the low-range healing aura kills you, but because it's this version, you can stay melee range and take it much more healthily. Look at that. It's a different attack pattern. OMG sneak this away as it stands in NIP. They just have to watch this go down. They're going to get all of the flowers, too. Great sneak away from OMG.
Linfeng with a very heads-up play there.
Really well played and flash in though. Oh, that's a big catch onto Starry.
Get one back. They'll probably get the Dragon too. But again, getting out the Atacam, still going to be pretty sucky. Look at those petals alone. That's an extra what? 40 adaptive force? Something like that, which is pretty significant.
Hugely so. Hugely so. You know, 50 differential in those petals. You know, everyone's got a level advantage now. Recall on a ward is not great though. Need to be a little bit more careful in that. Easy kill. Easy kill. We talked about the importance of both of these AD carries to their teams in champion selects. You know, both of them being more recent rookie uplifts to the LPL. And Starry, I think largely has been the best player on his team on OMG this year anyway. Not a great moment for him though. NIP punish him well.
One thing I was about to note as well is on-hit Varus has a lot more defensive options in terms of his items. Speaking of which, he's going towards an arm guard, so...
yeah, there are some differences there, because obviously Poke Varus gets the spell shield of Edge Knight, but if you're on-hit Varus, you can heal through things with double hits, lifesteal with Rage Blade, Bloodthirster, and stuff like that. You go Wit's End, and also in this case, as you rightfully said, Sam, go for a Seekers, as has Dernby.
Yeah.
So you have double stasises, which are Stacies, I suppose, which can...
Stacy's mom has got my item on.
I hate that we both went for that at the same time, but it had to happen.
It did.
We'll see how... we'll see if that record. We'll see if that record goes golden as the draft.
Oh boo! All right, well there we go. Oh, that's great. Well, League songs I have known. Can I do that one? Why does Kaiser not have GA from Atacam? Because it's the other Atacam.
Yeah, and that's the thing, folks. It's not the voracious Atacam. It's ruinous, which means that it gives you bonus to your neutral objectives, and also it spawns that flower patch around them, which they picked up a ton of. So OMG have already got themselves some permanent value out of that, whereas of course the voracious Atacam only gives you that temporary Guardian Angel buff with the withdrawals.
Worth noting here as well, Dernby 10 stacks on his Dark Seal.
Oh,
yeah, with that Shadow Flame and Ludens, that's a lot of AP to pop squishy people.
It is because Shadow Flame is one of your strongest just raw AP items. The second item's 100 AP, and then with the Dark Seal, you basically get an Amatone base, you get 20 AP, but then with the 10 stacks, you get an extra 40 on top of it. So in total, the item is giving you 60 AP. This is a needlessly large rod, so you know, for a 350 gold item, you're effectively, say, 900 gold ahead of the curve compared to what it should be. So Dernby, even though the whole team is still 2k ahead, add another k on top of that basically because of the Dark Seal stacks.
It is why snowbally AP champions really like Dark Seal. I see you champions like Zyra, Ari, Evelyn,
Hello.
People who can get involved in fights and get lots of value out of stacking that early AP.
Yeah, and it allows you to pull ahead of the curve. It allows you to kind of smooth over your itemization if you want functionality over damage. Wave click, hold comes from the Scion. That Jace, though, is becoming an issue. The shorter trades look a little worse for the Jace right now, but as soon as you get that Black Cleaver stacked, the Scion can really struggle to make an impact, even with armor stacking.
Yeah, it does feel that way, for sure. Still going to get a hold of this wave, and the Scion, at this point, is very, very obnoxious. Over the wall goes Dernby, won't find anyone out, looks for a weirding, and gets a bit of a slow, but not all that much avail as yet.
What's the Q? Astral something?
What's this, on what?
Aurora.
It's a twofold hex.
Twofold hex.
It might be twinfold hex, something like that.
Right. So twofold hex. That sounds about right. Then there's the whatchamacallit, between worlds is ult, weirding's the E, and then the W.
Cross the veil.
Cross the veil, yeah, and that activates a passive which is something across the whatever as well. The W. Because you know if you proc your passive on Aurora when you go into W, you get more movement speed.
Ah.
I believe that. Oh no, that might have been one of the things that was removed when they changed her.
She doesn't reset, does she, anymore?
I think she does now.
Does she? They brought it back, have they?
No, I think it. I don't know. I think
because they were initially going to remove.
I'm not gonna lie, folks. Aurora has so much random stuff in her kit.
She's a cool champion, to be fair.
Yeah, the main thing is just her main combo does more than it did at Worlds, but her ult does less. So
yes,
her ult's less likely to just end your entire bloodline.
Her E, however.
Her E now will do the same thing, so...
But at least it's only one person rather than your whole team.
True, yeah.
Which is, like, in fairness, a significant change.
No, you know, you don't, like, kill off 7 familial connections or whatever the old punishments were. Shanji doing pretty well here into Linfeng, who, of course, gets to get some mixed damage. Aki has to fly out of the pit here. The game's slowed down, if you can tell, folks, because we're yapping on less important things. Dragon in 30 seconds.
But ice cream flavors again.
We could do. Mint choc chip is always a good thing to talk about. Linfeng.
What do you think?
Like
favorite ice cream is
steel flavored.
Steel flavored. Ascana flavored.
Standoff in the mid lane now. Fighting over mid lane priority because it'll give easy access, and he finally hits a Skarner ult.
Oh, does, but then the turnaround from Moam will not leave locked down all that much. At least Hen gets to flash away, but that jungler is not getting involved in this fight anymore.
And IP get themselves some good some good health out of Hung, but losing both of the summoners on Leap is a big loss. OMG will look to...
is this loss?
Is this lost JPEG? You know, many things are. NIP
Which panel are we
will
on?
need to protect that Varus in the next few minutes.
There we go. They will need to do that. They get the hold of the dragon. The silliness is happening. I'm not going to be very serious today, guys.
Yeah.
I apologize, but actually I'm having quite a lot of fun with it. So here we are. Slow down to a moment. He gets hit by a decimating swipe rather than a smash. It's not fully charged. Aki gets jumped on. Actually got Doomby over the wall hilariously, but Moam just dies for it. Hit by that shotgun. There's those 7... I don't know, whatever the family line things is with a shotgun that I don't remember exactly what the phrase is. But in the back,
sorry.
Starry can't quite get the kill onto Aki. Skarner is Skarner. Starry comes falling out of said heavens. There are some ill-omened stars this time around. Lin Fong goes back in with a Fate Seal, but to what end? There's just not any follow-up anymore. Doomby gets another level 16 acquired off the death of the Yone. You know what's just spawned a few minutes ago? Baron.
That's the 3 familial execution as NIP take down some of those members of the team, which they made their names on. NIP pulling ahead very far in this game now. They'll get themselves that Baron. They're on Soul Point. OMG falling behind in gold.
So, let's have a look at this again. So, Moam, full sends to not great avail.
But this is, you know, this is basically after the summoner's already down. This is after a lot of the big players have come through. Starry gets lethal tempo fully activated. So maybe Starry just thinks, okay, well, I've got to make use of this path like right here, right now, while I've got these rare stacks and you know, Rage Blade ticking over as well. Sees that Aki has that on him. What happens? He gets the single target cube. Flash away from the last order. Sorry, maybe you could have flashed forward for kill, but losing an AD carry at this point in the game is so disastrous because it is so core to your team fight.
That shield on Skarner is forever annoying. Bastion shield, holy moly, very, very scary. Full Zonya's now done for Doomby. Got a Blighting Jewel. Still hasn't turned that into a Magi's, but fair enough. And I'm fault Story for trying. I know what you mean. It looked quite killable at 3 items, but again, Skarner is in fact just a bit of a champion. They lose their Maokai. In comes a Steam Train Scion who goes choo-choo. Actually, it's a Lumberjack Scion, but I still go choo-choo in my brain. Captain Flowers had the right of that.
Yeah, yes he did. Yes he did. Towers are going to fall. 4 grubs helping an IP push down turrets. And this is one of the problems with Skarner. He is so ungodly tanky. Moham spotted on the flank. It's not like you have a Maokai ult to corral them into his engage either. NIP, I mean, they had some worries about if this game reaches late game, blah, blah, blah. They'll miss out on DPS. It just hasn't become a factor. As Aki goes forwards yet again, finds an ultimate onto the Yone, who has a QSS luckily to trade ult for item. Does not, however, have the wave clear to protect his inhibitor. Moham is desperately looking for something out there. He's not really found a lot of it.
Ooh, gonna get a huge chunk here, you imagine. Lands a 2-fold hex. Immediately, the Immortal Shield Bow is popped from Linfong. Ults away from Shanji, who goes unstoppable in his onslaught briefly and has to back away.
Moham's been behind here for a full minute now, and he's going to achieve exactly nothing.
He pulled the wave.
And even though OMG got themselves that add to calm with the permanent bonuses. No, look, this looks funny. It achieves nothing. Oh, God. Sam, if this leads to nothing, you're going to feel so stupid, aren't you? He's currently... He's been here for 2 minutes. He's been here for 2 minutes and does precisely nothing. Harry, hang on. Guess what's the AD carry?
Oh my god, he got to the AD carry. They can't get a kill still. Look at Doomby on the flag. Oh, Mr. Bond. You've got to be afraid of that one. And they lose the Ricard. Oh dear. Double O nothing.
Mr. Bond, I don't feel so good. He waits for 2 minutes for a flank, which fails.
Okay, well, here we are. Harry, I think is going to end up running into Shanji's level 17. And you just don't hurt him right now, this Jace. Get in my belly.
Jace is basically just being delayed. NIP go towards the Nexus. OMG, yeah, they are making a bit of a parody out of this one, isn't it? Definitely more Austin Powers than James Bond.
Yeah, the slow-rolling steam train, or steamroller of the side of this Skarner and Scion. Very, very scary. The problem is they're backed up by the engine of this Aurora and Varus, who prove... Nico, potentially a punish here as a ranged option into the Braum. Still engage. Might be your way out of a really rough laning matchup otherwise. Can earn you a lot of power at the level 1. May just say, screw it, we'll deal with a slightly more awkward early lane and go for the Alistair anyway. It's a tankier frontline option. They do decide to go towards that. Would actually like the Sarah more than the Braum, but it works. Fair. It's also just really good into, like, quad melee. Like, Braum into quad melee is really nice. You've got Ambessa, Sejuani, Silas, Alistair, which is really good. And you don't want to give, like, Silas Seraphine ult as well. Could have been quite annoying. Glacier Fissure is not bad, but it's not the same. More melee focused though, so they have to kind of commit to the brawl. They can brawl. Sejuani plus triple melee, very valuable. Misfortune layering on top of whoever they CC up. A lot of pressure, I suspect, here on Crisp to get value out of this Braum. But FPX don't really have a lot of ways of playing that aren't full commit. Let the crowd shout for a moment or two. Solid chance from both teams. Bit of an FPX statistical swing in the mid game. Later on goes back towards top esports. I think that makes sense. You've got double melees who are coming online about 1 or 2 items. That's when they often get at their most potent. After that, the range discrepancy can start to hurt. Nice level 1 there. Sim does get that love tap. But it will be some not really able to reset very cleanly here. We'll be late to the lane now. And they clear out the ward. No, oh, hang on. Jackie, don't cancel that auto. They didn't cancel the reset. There will be Misfortune coming to lane a little late now, post that first wave. So Jackie and Chris had a very good starting point in this lane. Where did Shadow come from? He was probably most famously a jungler over for Mad Lions in EU. So we had a lot of love from the likes of Till, Mac, Pad, as he has become the starting jungler for FPX. Across the split. Has been certainly very willing to get things rolling. He is a playmaker at heart. Not always been clean. But I think for a team that is needing some go buttons, needing some players willing to take a bit of a leadership role in terms of playmaking, he can certainly do that. Something of a veteran player at this point, even if he hasn't necessarily always had the greatest level of success. Supporting FPS because of sheer, yeah, well, I mean, he was, I think, in some ways, probably a little bit snubbed not to be more of a look-in for Rookie of the Split last year. He was really, really good. Of course, people have kind of forgotten him a little bit because he's gone on to FPX where they've been a little lackluster as a squad compared to, say, Flandre, who just yesterday was absolutely insane. Reminder, this was a guy who people were going, well, why is Flandre starting over him? Cream, potentially in danger here. Care. Skondum Duck goes wide. Flash away. Does have to burn it. Nice gank from Shadow. 3 camps into a look-in. Looks like we will see the split map come on through. And Shadow heads into the enemy jungle. We'll look to trade that one out. Gets a flash on his way, so a little bit slower on the clear. But honestly, all things said and done, you're not going to care all that much, I don't think. We'll get the Gromp. I'm not sure whether we'll get Wolves here as well. May do. And then pull out to go for that Scuttle Crab. Did I hijack the channel again, Sam? I did, Dialga. Sorry about that. Alex has LEC today, so it's just me. Cannon Minion died. 369 lost it for trading. It's a bold call. And Ronnie rose up in EU. He was born in Italy. That makes sense. Yeah, I thought he was... What did I say? I thought it was something like that. So yeah, in some ways, it's an EU import into the LPL. Shear's head is too small for the headphones, or... He has got quite a small head. That's no judgment on him or anything. just a fact of life. Here we go. Ooh, nearly gets that Q on in, but a good flash away from Care, keeping alive. Cream, though, gets passived by Shadow, and now Kanavi and down to the counter gang does not work out. So this is the replay. Try to punish. Oh my days. If he landed that knock-up, it all changes. He does it. Really good flash from Care. And again, very, very volatile player. We've seen a lot of mixed stuff out of Care. A lot of mixed stuff out of Care. Is Shuven 18? He's 19 now. Yeah, exactly. He was pretty close for a while. Mm-hmm. So, passive does come down bot side, and again, at least Assume hasn't been fully taken out of this lane. The issue is that Jackie's managed to get a reset for boots, which can be really obnoxious on Ashe, because you get to get a lot of value out of your approach velocity and the slows you put down. So any move speed you get can make that differential even harder. So nice cheetah recall coming in with the early reset, and now the Misfortune is sort of forced to stay here or drop a lot of gold. That wave's in an awful spot, so it says, screw it, I have to leave. 369, another plate topside, really using this Renekton well into the Ambassador to get a lot of plates early. Not bad from 369 up there. Went to my Slayer task on the wrong ding-dang spellbook again. Oops. Oops. Okay, we come over towards Grubs being started. A quick message to respond to this. Was a little bit out of it for a second or two. Shadow's around. I don't think he's going to come and steal any of these away, so it will just be Grubs over 2 top esports challengers. Top esports. It's because I was chatting about Jachi yesterday. It's like, they're not the challengers, they are the actual main squad. This is not LDL. And Jackie. Did he miss a cannon there? I didn't see. I looked over at chat for a moment. Did he miss a cannon, chat? I saw what the observers were doing. That's the observer. You did something silly, camera. Do you think we'll get LDL action this year? Probably some Asia Masters stuff. I don't know whether I'm going to get time to do LDL proper. Unless it's between splits and I don't have anything else on. Then I will. But it's just been very, very hard to find time. Because it's at the same time as LPL. Basically. And not to put too fine a point on it, this has been slightly more valuable use of my time at the minute. I'd love to do more LDL. I think it's super cool. I think it's a niche that's not being filled. And I will do my very best to help out there. But LPL be LPL-ing. Okay. Gets the W down. Nice proc onto Sheer. 369. Again, this is just the way it is for now for Amber. So once you get to clips, things change. But you do tend to fall 10 CS or so behind. Have to deal with the waves crashing in a little bit here. You've got good 2v2s or 2v1s. But unless Shadow's around, not going to get that much value. Head on over to El Blue Buff. Is LDL Chinese Div 2? Yes. But that's how I met Trinity. It was him coming in helping mod my streams there for LDL. That's how I know people like Milky Way. I was shouting them out from the high heavens before they moved up to LPL and became pretty special. LPL is also higher quality gameplay sometimes. Yeah, well, exactly. Operative word is important there. Well, arrow. Oh, hang on. Nice combo. Beautiful stuff from Top Esports. Sheer couldn't move. Nicely done. Flash from 369. Flash from Crisp. Good arrow. Wonderful lane gank. Really, really nice lane gank. If you're looking for lane swaps, you can sometimes do this on Ashe. That is a very, very clutch play. How is it possible Top Esports dominates domestically but sucks internationally? A few reasons. Jackie Love internationally just doesn't look like the same player. he just doesn't. Sometimes it's really weird. The other thing is I think Crisp is a lot of their early map moves, and he's a big vocal part of their comms. If he tilts, it shows, and the rest of the team falls apart. And I want to see if the bot lane falls apart, the rest of the team doesn't look anywhere near as good, and then Kanavi will never play for bot. Never play for bot, and LPL teams haven't really figured out the code to just gank bot early, nerds. And as a result, that particular habit of how Kanavi and Jackie and Crisp interact hasn't been exploited as much. While the world champion doesn't toe up, yeah. I mean, look at first. I mean, that's the reason for being surprised, right? Because it wasn't the Jackie we'd seen all regular season, right? He was a very consistent, hard carry for Top Esports, and he was very mediocre at first down, to say the least. Way in danger here. Crisp gets to stand behind people, throws down a really good Aurora ult. Nice combo into the backside from Kanavi. Beautiful. Teleports come on through, but it's a little too little. It's a little too late. They got a huge amount of Braum passive. Care's going to at least get a couple back, but Jackie's still trading. Flash away. Sheer trying to keep on hopping forwards. Can't quite do it. Care is doing his best. Good body block from Kree. Does all the work as Jackie glides on them. That's what I wanted to see from this man internationally. He does it here instead, and that was a 5v4. 369 isn't even there. Holy moly. Well, that's GG. He is a little bit. Oh my god. Damn. That is just a ridiculous combo. Kanavi will eventually almost fall there, but the flash into range of the Braum heal was really nice. He gets to walk away. They finally lose Braum. But I want you to watch Cream here, who gets beyond Care, and it'll Care in a second, to block the Abscond Abduct. If that lands, Jackie dies. Really nice from Cream. Really nice from Cream. So, 369 is very deep. Dies. What? Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Care now going to potentially have an option as Cream goes across the veil, tries to find the big angle, but that bullet time is brutal. They pick off Jackie. FPX in a really good position. Oh, Top Esports. Yeah, that's more like what I remember from first down. Are they going to get aced? I think they are. Oh, dear. What? man. 369 goes in, immediately dies. The teleports come flying on 3. So that's not great. Cream then just doesn't get much value there. Misses his whole combo. And that bullet time looks pretty good, but actually means that the door comes up and it's fine. But the problem is then, like, Braum is not defending from the Silas. It's not defending from the Ambessa. And yeah, I mean, top esports, that was not great. He's gone Blade on the Renekton, so he's very squishy. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really nice into a lot of these melee HP stackers, but he very much needs Titanic soon, or his combo is not going to be the same. And he doesn't have that much survivability because he doesn't have Sundered Sky. Also going to delay something like a Black Cleaver, but then again, I don't think there's going to be that much armor build up quite yet, but I mean, eventually you will do. You have to go Black Cleaver third? I guess you are. Still a gold lead for top esports, for the record. They've still got 6 clubs and a dragon. So it's not like they're absolutely out of this game, but that was a flaw that has been exploited a few times, where top esports can overreach, shall we say. Well, there's Herald down. Kanavi gets that one. Herald goes into mid. Stolen between worlds. Cream's going to be alright. Will have his own between worlds should he need it. Uses it. Backs away. He's going to stop for the petals. Nicely done. Kair's doing alright here on the Silas. Pretty scary in and of his own right. The Leandry's build from Aurora here to manage some of the beefy front line. Are we gonna... We'll see what 369 turns this into. Is it gonna be the Stride Breaker? It is a Stride Breaker, because of course it's not. It's not. Titanic goes Stride Breaker. Okay. So basically, very, very aggressive all-in combo. We can get to the back line. You've got a lot of mobile champions in a Silas and a Ambessa. Stride Breaker helps that. If you can lock them down, between Stride Breaker and Blade of the Rune King, you can pop them. You're not going to be very tanky, but you are an assassin threat, basically. That Kale Vlad comp was something, it was hilarious. Kale ult being your front line was something something. Okay. Big engage. Chris gets away. That Glacial Fissure was really nice. The arrow turns around. Kair gets dropped. And now you can start to face Dway. Goes to the backside. Oh boy, he's dead. Okay, nice. This is really good. Jackie's not touched this fight. Look how different that one looks. This time it's the front line that tanks it all up. Well played, top esports. And the full send from FPX does not work. Sorry, Mecha, your team is not having a great time here. Kanavi is 6-1 on 3 on Vi, by the way. How is this happening again? So they're full sending for the turret. TP comes behind. Jackie actually gets hit by that Glacial Prison. But, oh man, Dway doesn't quite get the knock up on Jackie as he's backing away. That's so sad. Then he finally goes back in. Bashir ends up landing his combo onto Kanavi, not Jackie. Like, genuinely, if Jackie had been comboed with one other person one point in that fight, it might be very different. It's not, though. And Jackie gets to walk away. Has Wild Arrow stacked down to Hurricane into 4 melees, so he's actually really obnoxious this game. Night, Trinity. Sleep well. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Are we seeing all that much here? Not really. So, Atacama is going to be the voracious variety, which is kind of hilarious because we've actually had quite a lot of action this game. I guess it's just the amount of damage done wasn't that high before this. Most of the violence happened a bit later on. FPX, around and about. I wonder whether top esports are going to leave this for a little bit. Try and sync it up with an objective. Tends to be the most valuable way to use Atacama. You've got 2 items largely completed now for top esports. Not quite in mid lane. That's about it. Atacama, when are they going to Subtracticon? That's true. When are we getting Subtracticon to go alongside Atacama? That's true. Sorry, I do sometimes say Atacama because I'm British and T's are not a thing we pronounce properly. Has to be said. So where do FPX look to come back into this game? Because they are down a significant amount at this point, guys. I'm not going to lie to you all. You have gone for the Mortal Reminder, second on Assume, which is kind of hilarious. Probably to help deal with the Sundered Sky and the Blade of the Ruin King healing. I don't know about that one. I'm not sure how much value. Does Aurora passive give you healing? I know it gives you burn over time. Or like the percent HP damage. I don't know if it's just percent HP damage. But hey, what do I know? Also, I'm also one of those bottle of water people. Yeah, it's true. So I can't help you with that one. The term is a glottal stop. Glottal stop. Where you stop the T's in the back of your throat. Glottal. Yes, bruv. Where are you heading? Well, as an AL fan, I have great news for you. Come join the club. Hell yeah. Please lie to us so I have hope. You have 2 items on lots of people. Shojin is done for Ambessa. Riftmaker is done for Silas. Misfortune's there already. You can probably play at the 2.5 item breakpoint versus top esports. So I think you can. I think that's possibly doable. If you can say convert Atacama into Dragon, maybe that's doable. Ker's gonna go sending, lands it onto Cream. Maybe this is your moment. Stole the cease and desist. Can't quite kill off. Cream though, passives in. Can they kill off this Aurora? No, they can't. Oh dear. And now Ker's gonna die. Oh, they nearly did it. That bullet time was a bullet second. Triple kill for Kanavi. Is that a quadra kill for Kanavi? No, it's not. Okay. Well, Kanavi is now 9-1-5. How much damage can they do with this wave here? They've got 6 grubs. That's at the very least inhibitor. Hang on, can they just end the game? I think they can just end the game, guys. It's over. They're going to try and end this. They've got a wave and 6 grubs. It's over. Oh my god. Well, blink and you miss it. FPX full send on the Aurora. Don't kill her. And we see some space gliding shenanigans. Did enjoy for the win. We are just about done with draft. They lock in the Maokai as well. Okay, so that's going to be Pantheon mid. It's Doumbé's Pantheon. Of course it is. It's Doumbé. This will be Doumbé's Pantheon mid. Is he still doing the Stride Breaker Symbiotic Souls tech? The Maokai jungle, a lot of lockdown suddenly. Lot of lockdown. Your ability to throw out a Maokai ult, a Kai'Sa ult, a Pantheon ult gives you a lot of ability to engage from miles and miles and miles away. A lot more damage for TES and a lot more disengage. Zia ult. Alongside the things like the Scar and Varus for standard CC, Renata ult as well. Kennen can be pretty dissuaded with that Slicing Maelstrom. Your counter engage and flank options from top esports are good. But NIP ability, but there's a level 1 plan, so I might just... Oh, listen to that noise. Oh, well, Clouds in force here. Doumbé alone, bringing in some yells. You know which teams bought out the seats today? NIP Energy coming on through. I think if you don't spell that right, Apples Dirt, there's just Nymaera's what? Apple Dirt? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just look in Twitch chat. Don't worry about it. Still. Doumbé on that Pantheon again. We'll keep our eyes on that one. Pantheon will just be bullied in side lanes, though. Yeah, potentially eventually. See what exactly the build is. Leave. Forced to run away. Look, you're double ranged into Kai'Sa Rakan. This is just not a fun time to be a Kai'Sa. Gleaming Quill heals will help. But you are inevitably going to get shoved in here. Jackie going for the lethal tempo option here. Going for more on hit. Probably to help deal with some of the divers, because you're not going to be able to play from range very freely this game. Playing poke doesn't actually keep you safe because there's so many people who have so many ways to get on top of you. So going with that ability to stand and deliver, that you build up some of that lifesteal and try and drain tech your way through. Flash for the twisted advance, forced to flash out of Cream. Aki takes the opportunity to go as through a drive through mid. At least you got a lot of other damage sources, right? So I think you're okay to be on-hit Varus this game. It's not like on-hit Varus is bad. It's just when you can get poke Varus, it's very impressive. think Povaris could have gone so hard this game. Certainly for the laning phase. Certainly for the laning phase. I think later on, the problem with the Pokevirus is you become public enemy #1. Because you have so many dive tools. Very, very tricky. Also, PP God's been able to go heal for lane, which is really nice, because Shanji in the Gwen matchup into the Kennen has been able to go exhaust, which is really, really nice. You always want to exhaust into the Kennen, and because you're the Gwen, you can basically match the Kennen with TPs and stuff pretty freely here. Drive die into Shanji. Flash on forward, try to get the last auto. Does get it. Nice turret dive, Top Esports. Really clean stuff from Kanavi. Get the exhaust down. Not enough. Flash for the last shuriken. And the damage is done. Cream has no mana. So he just has to sort of sit there and stab with his big spear. And Cream can say arise as many times as he wants to the Sand Soldiers. He's not quite Sun Jin Woo, is he? Not quite yet. Okay. We pull over just a little bit. So the arrows going flying on 3. Structures under assault. As the arrows come flying on top of Leave, who's not having a lot of fun in this lane. Even with it not being Pokevirus, the poke is, and pressure in lane is still very oppressive. Best of ones? Yes, this will be our last day of best of ones, though. As Kanavi gonna go driving through the wall, gets Aki not quite into the wall because that was a really good bramble smash. Handshake just shy. Aki, though, still in danger. Double knockup. Leave will get a W down, but to what end? Not that much. Bit of a chunk as Kanavi can still step on forward. He's really annoying on this. Skarner, flash over the wall. Jackie gets rooted, but can now get a bit of damage back. Oh, he's going to get the bailout. Doomby comes flying on through with the ult, gets a barrier down, but suddenly Doomby arrives from the heavens. What a wonderful grand starfall. Comes on in and gets 3 for NIP. Overplay from Top Esports. And the bailout will not come on through for Jackie. Burned his barrier too, but still not enough. Great moment from the mid laner. Where was he coming from? Just comes from mid lane. So they go looking for this play. And they overplay onto Aki. Takes a long, long time. When does Doomby start moving? Ah, they're going to show us now. Gets level 6. And now moves, and there's no interrupt from Cream. Gets hit by all of that damage onto Jackie Love, immediately gets popped. PP got out of range. Doomby gets to throw down the Aegis, so gets another. Really good stuff from Doomby, who's well off to the races now. Actually, looks like they're switching up Leave and PP God to this side. And the Gold League just disappears bot side because Leave picked up a kill and a couple assists too. Great stuff. Get the early sets of grubs. .369. Big Horn slicing Maelstrom. Shanji, remember, does not have a flash. Will throw out the needlework to no avail. It's shoved into the wall. Kanavi picks it up. And a nice little response kill there. As this poor Gwen is suffering quite a lot currently. I do remember when Gwen was last meta. We used to see a bit of Kennen into it. Because you used to be able to get inside her Hallowed Mist and do a lot of work there. So sort of an old school counter pick. Was a bit mixed. Soft counter perhaps to the term. Oh. Ah, Bisto. Right, Cream in danger. Slides away. Still going to get followed by the Twisted Advance. Will throw down his ultimate, but there's still going to be the Nature's Advance. And they're going to go, sorry, Nature's Grasp, I apologize, as Doomby goes under the turret, gets the kill, Aki tanks it up. Great combo there from the jungle mid lane, but that leaves the bot lane open to an attack. Leave dies, hit by the hail of arrows, can drive on forwards to drag the Rakan into the wall. Great dive response, and it's a 2-for-1 overall, as both junglers find their marks. It's been a very competitive game so far. Doomby in a great space this game. But now, so is JackeyLove on this Varus. Let's have a look at the bot lane dive. Kanavi turns on up, has level 6. Hostile takeover prevents easy jumping under the turret. Chains of Corruption land, and up down goes Leave. Still level 5 is PP God. And has nothing to work with there as Kanavi Ixtal impact him into a wall. Varus now, Blade of the Ring completed. In a good spot this game. 1 second telegraph, minute and a half. Dragon is up. Not taken so far this game. Not really turning onto that neutral objective. Solid lead for Kennen up here as well. As we said, not a bad matchup into the Gwen. Especially with it being first picked. Bisto. So, what do we do here? PP God debating a dive onto 369. Maokai's here as well. This is going to be a dive. Watch for the ult on Aki and PP God. 369 is going to have to ult, I think, early. Flashes on top of Leave to get a lot of damage down. Kanavi's here as well. Flash for the Impale. Drags Aki back under the turret. A 1-for-1, all things said and done. Can't quite keep 369 alive, who flashes to die anyway. But now Crisp is around, and PP God and Leave have got ults to burn and flashes to burn. Don't need to burn either, though. And they get out to safety. JackeyLove lands a Chains of Corruption, times out the Aegis Assault, gets a huge chunk back, tries to get the kill. Oh my days, 40 HP. Another auto would have done it. But in the Fed Pantheon v Varus matchup, Pantheon comes out second best this time around. He nearly gets dropped by the man that is JackeyLove. I think we're pretty much guaranteed Ruinous Atachan this time around. Grub secured. And Pantheon got himself an Eclipse. No Stride Breaker this time. Damage option. PP God finds an interrupt onto JackeyLove. Hang on. How much more can you do here? Man will drop over the side. In comes Leave. They stop the recall. Will barrier and throw down the bailout. Might be able to trade back on Leave. Not quite enough. Additional shield from the passive. And now 369's in danger. Oh, JackeyLove, unfortunate recall. That interrupt from PP God could come back to haunt them. And Doomby gets his revenge. Didn't even need the flash there. Problem is, it's going to drag them all the way from mid lane. So this wave's going to get shoved in. And Kaiser's not here. Had to reset, having just gone out onto the map. Down 30 CS at the bot side as well. Not having a great time. But getting that kill, again, nice. Valuable here. In terms of trying to stay within touching distance, at least, of Jackie on the Varus. It's pretty bloody out here. So... Shanji, looking for an angle, does step on forwards, slides away, does cream. Dragon secured by Kanavi. Gold lead is there for top esports. Not to a meaningful level necessarily, only 1,000 or so gold, which is not bad for this point in the game. but not game-breaking. Do and beat 3-0-2 on the Pantheon. Wonder what he's going to turn this tier into. Will it be the Thimble Winter despite the nerfs? Will he look for something like a Muramana here with the Eclipse? Go for a real assassin build. Might need to manage the Varus. And you have the reason for the full AD Kai'Sa this time. Wants to go diving on it. It's a better assassin build, is the honest answer. We did see a little bit of the Wild Arrows build. Scales pretty well. I think you've already got AP and a Gwen and the Maokai. And Doombi is your only AD threat. Going to be a little bit limited in terms of access to it. So, does want to go for more of an AD variant. Not going to go for the Crack instead, for the on-hit and the Rage Blade. Going for that crit build will be really nasty with those Qs. Shanji. May look at Kanavi here. Aki, though, gets a big... Oh, so Kanavi gets a big impale. The hostile takeover comes on through. Cream now coming across. Could look for a big shot fall. And 2 members fall. PP God just about gets out with the flash, but they try to defend this and don't find it. Doombi goes man drop in topside. There's a slicing maelstrom. So it ends up being an ult for an ult. And they get the bot side turret. First turret goes the way of top esports. Now, really, we're waiting on objectives to determine who will get the feats of strength. This Skarner, by the way, 3, 1, and 5, is going to be a menace. So Kanavi comes in to start fighting over the red buff. And the slow on that sapling says, okay, we can go play this. But then they get hit by the Impale. Chains of Corruption come on through, and it is a 4v3. Look where Leave is, miles away. Doesn't get an opportunity to press ult. And Cream wrecks them while they're all caught between the hostile takeover and the Impale combo. There's a lot of CC in the corridors. Think they're punishing a Skarner that's gone too deep. He's just so bloody tanky. He's got 3,000 HP and shields and CC. So, second set of grubs about to spawn. It is Ruinous Atakan. What a surprise. Here we go again. No ult from Doombi worth noting. No ult from PP God worth noting. 5 seconds on both Kanavi and Crisp's ults. Heading towards this mid-tier 1 currently. Leave has to just stay way, way, way back. The mid-tier 1's going to fall. Suddenly feels like top esports accelerating very heavily. The Sun Disc comes on down. Now up 3,000 gold. Recall from Pantheon, who's not gone for Symbiotic Cells, gone towards the Merc Treads to help manage the heavy amounts of CC he'll be dealing with. Is he just going Black Cleave a second? I think he might be. Pantheon does stack it very fast. A lot of ways to do it between your Q and your W. PP God face checks Kanavi, who tries to go for an ult combo and fumbles it. As PP God just jumps over it and goes, yeah, you can't do that. Are they still going to go fighting this? They might. I mean, being down that Skarner ult is pretty significant. Drives around and away. Goes, okay, yeah, well, maybe not then. I think Leaf should have evolved Q with these items. Possibly once Wild Arrows stacks enough. But yeah, looking at that, I'm pretty sure that's evolved Q. With BF Sword and Wild Arrows should have it, surely. Okay, so Dragon in 13 seconds. This, I think, will be our next big fighting point. One item largely completed across the board for NIP. The problem is, Jackie's got 2. If Jackie Love on this Varus gets to free fire, it's going to get real scary. Exhaust has to be good from Shanji as well. Kanavi went driving, couldn't find anything. Does force. Leave and PP God. The back of the pit, though, they can't enter through the angle they wanted. Shanji on a flank angle. Doomby steps on forward. Dragon secured. Kanavi lands a pretty good impale into the hostile takeover. Was well buffered by Doomby. Flashes back in. Now on to Cream with the W. Goes down 1-for-1 as it stands. The slicing Maelstrom will not kill Shanji. Man drop coming to the backside. Trying to get Leave into the back end of the blade. He does so. Gets off crisp. Jackie's dead. 4. For the side of NIP, only for PP God. They played that sublimely. Leave picks his moment really well. Doomby survives the impale, jumps back on in. And Shanji, the exhaust, the needlework, gets all the value they need. Really nice fight. They still lose the dragon, but it brings the gold right back to a playable state. Let's have a look at this again. Because the impale only hits on a Doomby, who does get up the Aegis Assault here, so it doesn't take all that much damage. The hostile takeover, you think it's going to be really nasty, but Leave cleanses straight out. And Cream goes looking for an angle and immediately is vaulted on. Doesn't get the kill onto Shanji, just Jackie Love. 369 was in the bailout, and Jackie went way too deep trying to get that kill. And finally, Leave gets to pull the ult to chase people down. Doomby surviving as long as he did. Cream not getting value from that shuffle is huge. And despite good damage number fights from the side of Varus and this Kennen for 369, look at Aki. The Leandri's burn across the whole fight was pretty monumental. Huge, huge damage there from the Maokai, just quietly, deceptively in the back of it all as well. Big Maokai game. Black Cleaver's in. Top Esports still in a good position because they got the dragon. But that should have been a lot cleaner fight. They don't get a good cannon ult. They don't get a good Skarner ult. They don't get a good Azir ult. On the other side, NIP got huge value just from basic abilities. Leave now 6-1 and 2, by the way, on this Kai'Sa. Infinity Edge second. He will annihilate the backline here if we can get beyond the Skarner, get beyond the hostile takeover. There is no one who deals with a big Q combo, I think, from Leave right now. I think we'll also have his supercharger upgrade at this point as well with that dagger. Well, game 3's delivering. We were hoping for it. So far, so good. This definitely isn't easy for TES. Not at the minute. They're making... I mean, NIP are actually turning up and fighting, which is great news. We have actually gotten a competitive game here against 2 of our top teams, which hasn't really happened that much, actually, in groups. It does feel like there has been often a very clear delineation between first and second. BOG did drop that one game, worth noting. Still, gold lead is back to non-existent, as we said. Mikhail's done for PP God. You've got Cleanse on Leave as well. Turning over to Atakan, though, saying, okay, you have to come fight us now. That makes things a bit harder. Gonna try and rush it. We're aware of NIP. There's Aki. Doomby command drop. Teleport from Gwen. Down to 5,000 HP. We are flipping on this. Can you keep the Maokai out? Taken. Petals afterwards. In comes Pantheon. Jumps into the backside. Murders 2. They do get 1 back. But it's just not going to be enough. The Impale is solid. Into the slicing Maelstrom. Shanji, though, getting to free fire. Cream gets a hold of Aki. Shanji, though, will murder the others. And the Petals are still just there. You got 2. The combo was nice. But the Gwen gets to free fire. And you'll pick up all of those wonderful Petals on the ground. Atakan secured. But it's a 5-for-2 fight. And there's still going to be 30 to 36 Petals. So the Petals are even. But the Atakan was secured. Big fight for Shanji. Doomby also got a lot of value there. So, teleport comes on through. Doomby man drops immediately, and Chris gets annihilated. So does Jackie Love. isn't tanky yet on the Varus. Has got his 2 damage items, but unless he gets chance to free fire, doesn't get that much value. It's not a wonderful ult from Cream either, despite what should have been a pretty easy combo. And Kanavi doesn't have enough tankiness to survive the full force of NIP there. Doomby now 508. Leave at 7 kills here on this Kai'Sa. Also really scary. He's picked up a 3rd item. This will be sole point for Top Esports. They want to play this again. Burned a lot of summoners. A lot of them back up now, including a lot of those flashed. I take that back. 369 looking for an angle. Dragon secured by Aki. That breaks the sole point. Doomby on the side, trying to deal with 369. Needlework still got a last charge to work with. Cream goes looking, doesn't find it. Resets come on through. Okay. So, what do we do? Wait for Baron spawn, I suppose, to be the next big thing. NIP looked like the game was falling really, really away from them. Suddenly they fired 2, 3 big fights in a row. Doomby, very threatening onto whoever he dives on. And leave now as well. A legitimate extra threat. Those 3 items, that Hurricane as well, when he does go diving on in, will get a lot of value here. And there isn't really a lot of tank for Top Esports. Not really. Got a bailout. You got an arm guard now for Cream. That's important. Level 16's through as well. But there's no Zhonya's for this Kennen, not for a while. Your tankiest member is the Skarner, which is tanky, don't get me wrong. But I think if you're having these teleports, these ults from Doomby and Leave coming on through, if you blow up, say, this Renata first, get the Ver, you've won a team fight. Playing 3v5, having lost 2 members immediately is really, really hard. Sterex now done for Doomby as well. Still got that tier, didn't turn it into anything. Has gone for a very standard Pantheon build. Gold lead actually for NIP now. Terminus just done from Jackie. If he gets this into a Zhonya's or a Jack show, suddenly a lot harder again to kill off this Varus. Baron started, NIP pulling the trigger. Top Esports going to be forced to come on in. The blue trinket comes on through, so they know this is happening. Down. I think it might just end up down. Kanavi can't get in there. It's burned. Nice from NIP. Now the turnaround comes on through as Shanti heads over the wall into the man drop. Jackie Love in danger, flashes away. Doomby's really deep to do this. Slicing Maelstrom into the backside. Massive damage. Jackie Love bailed out and alive, but Doomby finally falls. On the other side, 369 murdered the backline. The Slicing Maelstrom is there. And Jackie Love finally gets bailed out. He gets enough damage done. And the rest of Top Esports punish the overdive. Baron secured. But who's there to tell the tale? Because they're all in a grave. What on earth was that play? Let's look again. Because the team is split off. 369. Wonderful flank angle. Delays a lot at the back end of this. And leaves Shanchi and Doomby alone. They know 369 is coming across the ward. There's the 2 people forward. But Kanavi gets a huge stop into the hostile takeover. Then the Slicing Maelstrom does its work. By the time Leave goes forward, he's got no HP to work with. Really split apart the combo from NIP. And despite a great amount of damage again from Aki, despite that coming in from Leave again, the fact it wasn't all at once really hurts. And it is a negative Baron power play that ends, what, 20 seconds into it? There's that damage again. Huge damage from Leave. But that don't matter if you die doing it. Just about enough of an HP bar to make it work. Huge shutdown secured. The target on Jackie Love's head hasn't gotten any smaller. He's still being jumped on by the team. But the more he gets to stand and deliver, the more you have to burn to kill him. The rest, this Azir, this Cannon, even the Skarner with 230. So the Impel comes on down into the backside. Oh my god, the damage. Varus comes on down. The ult comes on through way too late. It's a 3-for-1. 369 turns around the slicing Maelstrom. Huge! Shanji dies. 369 needs to back on out. Flash over the wall from Cream. Just out of range of the Comet Spear. Gets a shield. Gets over the wall. Needs to keep running as Aki and Doomby keep looking for more. Cream does not quite have enough. Gets the Sin to speed up. Sleeg him into the bush. Comet Spear shy. Cream alive. Ends up being a 2-for-3 in the end. And the mid tower falls for NIP. I think unless you get a bailout immediately on Jackulov, he will die. So they pick up this dragon, but Kanavi then split apart from his team, and PP God goes into the backside, jumps onto Jackulov, knocked up, and immediately popped. They at least kill off the Varus for going in that deep. And 369, really nice there to stop it being an absolute disaster. And that's Sonya's from Cream into the flash. Gets a shuffle just over the wall and manages to run away and escape. Nice. Necessary. Is looking like it'll be a Jack show fourth for Jackie Love. I think that's the correct choice this game. You've got this Pantheon and this Kai'Sa who've gone full raw AD, blow your head off. Especially with a fourth item now done from this Kai'Sa. Can be very tricky. You've also got, of course, got the Ruinous Atacam buff, amping your grubs and 3 dragons. So top esports got a little bit more value there still. PP God is quite a thing to hear when you're turning into the broadcast. Yeah, he does. We used to have PP God versus Hung on a regular basis. Tape measures were required. To see how the bigger engage range, obviously. Don't know what you guys got going on there. Get your mind out of the gutter, chat. Alright. Kanavi is 5-3-12. He's not been involved in a single. There's a single kill he's not been involved with. Is how we phrase that. That's all he's not been involved with. He's ridiculous. 2,500 gold ahead on Skarner, as you do. Poor old Jackulov, despite a good laning phase, now fallen behind a fair amount. Just keeps getting jumped on. What do you do as the Varus here? I mean, there's not that much you get to say. It's a team thing at this point. The Zonya's been done for a while for Cream, understandably. And Doomby now has a Kaenic Rooker to try and manage some of that burst from the Kennen, the damage from the Azir. Varus, even with the Rage Blade and the Terminus, does a fair amount of magic damage himself. Tape measure required, still not over that. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. Boy. Well, here we go. Towards the minions we go. Baron alive. Minutes or soul on the table for top esports. Hang on, 369. Be careful. Oh no, 369. He's a dead man. Slicing Maelstrom is solid. But what's it going to do? The Aegis Assault comes on through. Jackie Love now here. Chains of Corruption lands. Does not have the Aegis Assault left. Does now have the Mikhail's Cleanse. Kanavi now coming on over. And it's leaving Leave and Aki to try and jump onto the Skarner. The burn onto this Skarner is pretty good. Aki flashed to make sure that Kanavi couldn't get through the wall, I think. 40 seconds on 369. Nice roam in from Doomby. Alongside PP God. That Mikhail's on the Chains of Corruption prevents Doomby from eating a lot of damage. Can still look to play this. Can drive through the wall. Damage coming back. Doomby pulled back. Baron secured, but they're going to head over instead to Infernal Dragon. The reset's going to come on through. Are they going to take Infernal Soul in trade for Baron? Rough. Teleports immediately come on through. Man drop available for Doomby. Where is Aki? Resetting. Coming through the rift now. 12 seconds for a teleport and 369 who can come in himself. Starting up the Dragon are top esports. Doomby off to this side. Can still get into the back of this. Aki now coming on over. Doesn't have flash. Will be need to zone off. Gets jumping onto Kanavi. Soul taken. Redemption comes on through. Jump on forward. Jackulov backs on out. Kanavi will die for it. Blast cone away. 369 on angle himself. In comes that man drop. Try to go on forward. The house style takeover. Jackulov just dies. Doomby does as well though. 369 with a slicing maelstrom makes it a 2 for 2. But Leave does the damage. He's got a GA to his name as well. 2 for 3. All things said and done as they pick off a last kill onto Crisp. So many flashes blown. You've got Baron to work with. But you did lose Soul. You need to make sure this one sticks. Or it's still a pretty good space for top esports to be in. 3,000 gold and a very fed Kai'Sa. Can do short work of these tier 2s and this will expand the gold lead. But I need to see some inhibitors fall here, or I don't think it will be enough. Man, this Pantheon stacks Black Cleaver so fast. And the Skarner looking about as squishy as I've seen him. Here we go. Oh my god. Kai'Sa with this build does unreal things to people if she gets a crit or two. Let's have a look at the replay. Dragon secured, and they go, cool. We're going to back away from this. 369 teleported to the minion wave, so it's a 4v5, and top esports go, cool, we need to leave. Jackulov comes back this way, but kind of gets split off from his team. Aki jumps forward, gets on top of that Varus, who immediately gets popped despite the bailout. It's a good slicing Maelstrom. Gets 2 back, but Leave with the single target Q onto Crisp. Absolutely eviscerates him. He's 12 and 3 now. Jack Show finally completed for Jackulov. Might help keep him alive a little bit. Problem is, boots have been sold by Leave. He's got Phantom Dancer at this point. He is so scary. I don't care how many tank stats you build up, this Kai'Sa will break through them. Between the passive and the armor pad and crit, don't really have a tanky member that can deal with that. You have to blow up this Kai'Sa some way or another. And when you're busy dealing with a Gwen Maokai Pantheon all pouncing on your backline, how do you do that? Just don't know. Leave's not leaving without a win. Feels like, doesn't it? Still, Infernal Soul and an unbroken base. It's pretty good for top esports. You're not out of this. Remember, you're still backing that up by the Atakan you took earlier. That ruinous buff, permanent. Doomby finally picked up the Thimble Winter. Having a great game himself, honestly, on this Pantheon. Probably due for an MVP here. Leaves played well in the late game, but Pantheon getting those early team fights was a huge, huge deal. Lord saying, God damn it, why can Kai'Sa build AD or AP? Why can't Draven do it too? Could you imagine Draven getting to build Lichbane, Nashes? That'd be quite funny. Ult gets a massive AP scaling. I'd be down for it. Be very entertaining. Okay. Elder's in a minute and 50. Baron's in a minute and 20. We're going to flip it Elder, aren't we? That's where this game is heading. What items extra can we get completed before then? I feel like 369 might just need a Zhonya's. I know he's got raw damage, and this is really nice, this game. Don't get me wrong. If we can land a big combo, that's how they've won some of the team fights. It's just by 369 going, nope, you die. But I think the ability to buy a bit of space, kind of immune a Pantheon combo, potentially pretty huge here. NIP winning the game means a tiebreak in first place, no? Potentially. Actually, no. Because if for first or second, it doesn't matter. Because you're both going through the Ascension group anyway. So actually, the tiebreak is immaterial, just Pride. It doesn't change your... You're facing everyone in Ascension anyway. It's not like you're seeded necessarily in Ascension. Everyone comes in as an even person. Even team. Yeah, so top 2 makes it... It's basically the break points between, say, second and third and fourth. Those get tiebreakers. Assuming it's not decided on head-to-head anyway. Okay, Baron. Started. Navi's in there. Gets a massive impale! Slicing Maelstrom! Neve down. The GA is popped. Gonna try and keep going for this one. He gotta try and get the soldiers on top of him! Get him! They've killed off the Kai'Sa! Kanavi breaks them in the pit! What an ult! The impale combo comes on through. Flash for the slicing Maelstrom. Aki there to desperately try and clean the wave. He can't do it. That was an ult. Skada, in the end, after finding such little joy over these last few team fights, gets to go forwards himself. NIP fought hard, fought well. That Kai'Sa, you thought they might be able to do it. But a flip at the Baron pit is just... So, on to the ref we go. And I'll let the crowds have a word before I have a bit chat about these dearest drafts. Aren't we all just mountain chickens? What did I miss in chat? Oh my days. So FPX expected statistically to come out ahead a little later on. I mean, honestly, when you've got double AD carry, plus Alistar, plus Maokai, plus Gwen, you can see that the mid-game spike is where it's at for OMG. You've got the Kai'Sa again for Star. You had a decent-ish showing on it earlier on. Failed to kill off the Skarner, if you remember, which is a bit of a shame. That was a whole thing against Aki on that one. Flash on forwards, level 1 from OMG. Doesn't really lead to all that much because there's a Pulverize to kind of deny that rel engage. Care put a lot of time into the Corki. He's been a very volatile player in general. We said that last game as well. But it still holds true. Struggled to be a consistent laner. Linfeng on the Ahri has put a bit of time into this championship. You got the Shin Tower Ahri combo. Gonna be getting value out of the Shadow. Looking for the level 1 invade. Again, as a Maokai, you get a lot of work done with these Raptors. Can look to Q Smite here. Steals them all. Well done from the side of Shadow. Got the entire camp, by the way. Heng now having a horrible time here. But hey, good to see you, Monties. Hi, Amber. Good to see you. And yeah, just got the entire camp. That's pretty nuts. Not gonna lie to you all. That's a pretty rough set of steals. Over we go towards bot lane, though, we're assuming. Shoving him away. Assume eats a 4th shot, or throws a 4th shot out, sorry. Shanji and BB God are the same. Oh, hang on, knocks away. Shui potentially in danger, Hung. Or Hang, rather. in a bit of a difficult spot here. Of course, had those camps stolen. Starry flashes over. Here comes Shadow looking to punish. Actually, now everyone's really low. They need to be really careful. Full tilt for the side of Moham, looking for an angle. Hang gone really deep. Will surely fall. No! Starry got the Acathian Rain. Shadow needs to get something back here or it's going to be an utter disaster. It might well be anyway. Oh no! 3 kills to Starry. 3 camps, turns up bot, gets everything. Starry survives, gets a shove out the wave. That could not have gone worse for FPX. Oh, wow. Let's have a look at this again. Because initially, see Shadow's coming on over, pulls off his Krug to try and make a defensive play happen. Hung flashes away, Dwayne flashes away, trying to buy time. And assume at this point, thinking, okay, she'll be able to kill Moam here at the very least. But they lose vision. Can't quite get the kill. He's just out into the 4th shot. Assume then gets turned around on here as Shadow goes to the other side to jump on a Starry, who cleanses. And Hung gets a load of healing. We're back to live as Shadow's dying again on the invade for Raptors. Both junglers have got, like, no farm. What on earth is happening? I don't think he was expecting Rel there, is the honest answer. Got punished for it. I guess we're getting tiebreakers today, folks. Sheer. Gone for the exhaust into the Rumble. We've seen quite a lot of that tech here. Rumble gone for the teleport, not the ignite, as we've sometimes seemed to manage that matchup regardless. Grub started up by OMG. 7 waking up into be morning. Gotta be fresh, gotta go downstairs. Hang on. Nice crash down. That's just a very dead Dway. FPX are running it currently, is what I have to say about this. They got 1 grub. They didn't get more than that, and FPX will still turn up to this. But that is a wild state of affairs. This Kai'Sa and Xin Zhao are going to be an absolute menace in mid-game. So, OMG are very, very fed. They've got a lot of kills. They're getting a nice charm there on the care. This is realistically about as good a start as you can get from OMG. The kills are in really good spots, right? You've got it on the Xin Zhao, who you want to be getting controlling early on, will be a really big point of power. You've gotten a lot of the kills onto Starry, who is going to be really key on this Kai'Sa for being giga valuable. Up about 800 gold at this point. It's a great spot. Mo, I'm involved. 0-5. Also pretty great. What do we do at this point? Hey, J-Ball, good to see you. Linfong going forwards, flash away. Cat survives. Just about. 1,500 gold lead right now for the side of OMG, which is a bit scary. But again, the scaling's still very good for FPX. OMG did want to get this snowball rolling. Wasn't expected to be in the manner that it's happened, but it's happened. So, next set of grubs, minute. Dragon was taken by OMG, sorry. We're kind of waiting on the next big play, really. That's probably when it is. We get a lot of cereal in the UK, true. It's not unpopular in EU either. I think you get it in like New Zealand, Australia kind of areas as well, if memory serves. But they're quite anglicised as well. You're either a Weetabix kid or you're not. Fair. Fair, fair, fair. Mm-hmm. So, where do we go from here? Those grubs. This could be a bit of an interesting one. I think OMG in a particularly good spot, but hang on. Nice engage from Dway. Does get to burn the ultimate. Out goes Harry. Not a great equalizer. So no kills as yet. She's still got another charge of that ultimate to work with. Gonna try and find someone to clip with that. Surely. It doesn't hit anyone. Okay. So resets come on through. Scuttle Crab is picked up. Big ult burned. No one dies. Flash away from Harry. Ult of Hung and Harry as well. And Grub's still secured by OMG. I know people who eat dry oatmeal. Why is there a cereal conversation having in chat? It's just... Sometimes, guys. Sometimes. Alrighty then, where do we go? I suppose this should be the dragon fight, isn't it? Sorry, Cersei, I brought it up. It's not your fault, Monty. It's fine. I'm just curious what's happening. I mean, I should be talking about COT. I used to enjoy Weetabix. Jordan's was the classy stuff in the UK. Enjoy Jordan's. Dragon secured and FPX saying, cool, we don't want to play until we got first item now. Thanks very much. Understandable. Not there on Gwen. Not there on Corky. There is the 24s. a little too late to think about contesting for that dragon. She needs to be a bit aware. Hang on. Shadow's around. They're hex gating in. Doesn't look like we're actually going to get any play there. I already had cornflakes growing up. Well, fair. It's a classic. So, Equalizer on the wave. Ult now from Shadow onto Harry. Deadly Flourish keeps him locked under here. They don't have the wave to work with though. What are you giving up for? This Ari's got so much time top. Kaiser shoving in mid. Harry will die, but it's still going to come at the cost of first turret. And OMG have already got feat of strength anyway. They got the early objectives, they got the early kills. First kill on the board for FPX. And Care clears out mid lane. Can they trade for this turret? I think with 20 seconds spare should be doable. Losing a fair amount of the jungle on the other side though is poor old Shadow. And Sheer gets that turret. Okay. Alongside Asum on the Jhin. Gave up a wave top to make this happen though. So still not the best trade ever. Is a crumpet an English muffin? No, it's not. It's not. Crumpets are their own unique thing, and crumpets are wonderful. I miss crumpets. Go Google a crumpet. They've kind of got little holes running through them. And they're a little bit more sourdough in flavor. You can, in fact, get sourdough crumpets. So they kind of got like a spongier, slightly firmer texture than a lot of bread. If you squish it, it bounces back. And you toast them, they get quite a crispy outside. And because they've got all these little holes running through them, when you put butter on it, melts into the holes. It's fantastic. Crumpet's like a pancake? Yeah, but it's like 2 inches thick and tastes a bit more sourdoughy. Kind of. But no. It's a spongy bread, kind of. Yeah. But it's a lot. It's got a lot more structural integrity than a lot of other breads. And you guys eat that for what? Breakfast? Yeah, it's a breakfast food mostly. Though I often have it as like a snack in the evening. Like, it's like, when would you have toast? Is the answer. A lot of times for breakfast. You can also replace it for things like Eggs Benedict or brunchy, that kind of thing as well. Bros, the crumpet looks like... No, it's not. English muffins are very different. Google a crumpet. It's a very separate thing. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't know it because I'm on the wrong side. There's a fight going on. I can't talk about English crumpets right now. Or English muffins. Oh, hang on. Nice engage. Tway might just dive for it, though. And the Crescent Guard is silly. Oh, nice shot at the back end of it all. Support for support. Good shot, I assume. A lot of these images of crumpets are just not good images of crumpets, which isn't helping. I want to look at that. It's the ones that are slightly thicker with more holes in. But crumpets are wonderful. I miss... If FPX were a type of breakfast meal, what would they be? That's a... I need to think about that. Well, I don't think they're going to be very nutritious. That's got to be a step point. I feel like kind of fallen from their former glory. Maybe it's like soggy Cocoa Puffs or something. Formerly full of delicious flavor. Bit of excitement for your morning. Now, A little bit of a shadow of their former selves. Not quite what you were hoping for. Crumpet and butter plus honey syrup is my favorite. So good. Hey, I like soggy cereal. Reserve, what's wrong with you? Away we go to Hextech Dragons. Do FPX feel like they can play now? They're only 1,000 or so gold. Okay, 2,000 gold behind. So significant, but not crazy, not unplayably, say. I think they might want to play for this dragon, honestly, because it would be sole point. Sheer would love a reset. And probably look towards this dragon. The problem is, of course, right now is OMG have got the shove on in. Dang on, Death Charge. Starry had to ult and flash and cleanse. Oh no. How did Starry get caught there? What? I mean, what? That's just thrown you the dragon. I don't know what to say. Jue's gonna throw. Doesn't have ult. That's one thing. But this is surely gonna be. Oh, hang on, decent equalizer. But the turnaround with the Nietzsche's grasp comes on in. Dragon secure, but the fight's not great. Linfeng will get another reset. Can keep on hunting. Pulls the Q back. Gets over the wall. Another reset. But still gonna go down as Assume picks it up. It's a double for Assume. Finally brings Linfeng down, but again, OMG, despite having Starry not be there, the 502 Kai'Sa still gets value. I mean, I don't know what to say there. Oh my days. It was a really good equalizer. It was really awkward positioning from FPX. Do they lose mid-tier 1 for this? They've done all the hard work. How does it end up like that? Alright, actually, I'll go look to this one. Crumpets and English muffins are sometimes confused, and while it's true that they're both cooked on a griddle, they are distinctly different. English muffins are more like bread rolls. They're doughy, heavier, and bread-like. English muffins also cut in half for surfing. Crumpets are lighter and spongier in texture, both as a result of different ingredients ratios, as well as technique and the dual rising method that gives them different texture, consistency, and appearance. Specifically, dozens of tiny holes that dot the top surface. So there you go. Shadow has just thrown an ult down mid. I don't know to what end, but it's been done. Scone is like a manto, but hard. What is going on? We're just talking baked goods. It's been a very weird game. Dragon was secured by FPX at the very least for the price it came at. Interesting build from Linfeng as well. It's gone towards the Storm Surge this game. Alongside the Malignant. It's not a Lich Bane. Dark Seal as well. So a little bit cheaper. And the Storm Surge gives you more mobility. And a little bit more pop on people who try to run away. And when you're looking at, let's say, the Jhin, the Corki, maybe just saying, look, if I can just get a bit of a tag onto you, that extra bit of burst is super valuable. So what you got? Hopes for a short day die in front of our eyes. Yeah, we are. I need FPX to recover, or this is going to be a tiebreaker day, and I might start screaming.
So, what do we do here? Jump onto Sheer, apparently. Dragons in a minute. That would probably be our next thing. Like bacon more on the crispy end. I tend to agree. I think especially if it's thin bacon, like smoky bacon and stuff, like crispy bacon's just good. Especially if the fat is not crispy, that I'm not a massive fan of. You need to get your bacon properly crispy. Okay. Dumps a frost bomb in there. I like my scrambled eggs a little bit runny though still. I don't like hard scrambled eggs. Gets too rubbery, don't like it. You need to have a little bit of liquid content. Have you ever cooked bacon? I've been eating eggs in similar fashion to how you'd find them in a Macca's muffin. Got the rings and everything for them. That's kind of hilarious. Alright, Tapey's in. FPX flipping here at the Atacon. I can smell the burgers. I'm gonna turn it around. Out comes the Maokai ultimate. Nature's Grasp is there. Gonna try and get it. He stole it! Oh my god. We're getting tiebreakers. We're getting tiebreakers. Oh no. And yes, Claritas like, yes! Dear. Well, there's a Baron, but where's he there? Oh my god, Shadow trying. Well, that's Atacon and Baron. And Shadow's trying again. What do you, I mean, FPX, what do you do at this point? Maybe just wear out the Atacon and Baron. So let's look at this again. So they try to flip. They know they're in a difficult position. That's actually a really good headbutt over the wall into the Maokai ult. And he still gets to flash, Crescent Guard, still be in range. I mean, they've done everything to keep him out of the bloody pit, and it still doesn't matter. They would have lost the fight anyways. They would have lost all the withdrawals to no avail. So it just gets worse. Ugh. Some people have low-key water with cereal. Oh my god, why are we still talking about it? But this game is over, right? What do you even do here as OMG? I mean, okay, Kerr's gonna try and get that tier 2 top. That's it. There's your bounty. Can you keep it to just 2 inhibitors falling? Atacon's still on for 15 seconds. After that, you might want to pull the trigger. Kerr is back. What item has he bought? Can't get towards the Hex Gates. Alright. We flip at Soul. That's the plan. You don't want to give Hex Soul up. Ari's got towards the Medjais. Linfong is really strong. Kaiser's at 4 items. Oh my god. Harry's got 3. It's a doomed scenario, folks. I like oat milk with cereal. That's not that bad. That's pretty normal. It's a milk. So cereal and water is jail, but cereal and leaf water is okay. Hang on, have we done? Is someone doing cereal and tea? Who's been doing cereal and tea? So because what is there to talk about this game? Yeah, tea has no milk. I mean, it depends what tea you've got, what kind of tea you've got. But yes, oh my god. Lin Fong gets the solo. That's over 10 stacks on the Magi's. Mark out comes on through to no avail. Hangman's going on forward. Sheer goes snip, 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 snip in to no avail. The Crescent Guard came on through. Starry's just going to keep going forward. Way tries to get something. Exhaust down, but Starry still got barrier, still got ult. Finally falls. I got assume. Assume. Okay. You got the bot lane. 3 for 2 in the grand scheme of things. You hold on to the base. I mean, like, okay. You've got 3 inhibitors down. It's somewhat over, bros. However, FPX is cereal with water. Yeah, that's a statement I can agree with. I don't really know what happens from here aside from suffering. So, okay. Shadow goes for the ult. Doesn't really get that much value because Hung body blocks it away from Starry. So Starry's still free to do Starry things. And at this point, you're thinking, okay, well, Drake at least finds a decent headbutt and Starry burns everything. Still goes down. That's actually really important. And you get something back. Like, okay, assume at 3.5 items, maybe we pull a Fnatic here, bros. That's the plan. We pull a Fnatic. Is this upset on Jhin? Can he do the disgusting thingy-mabobs? Astari is 10-1 on Kai'Sa. We've seen a lot of big Kai'Sa games recently, haven't we? Holy moly. Well, you got a minute till Hex Tech. Are you gonna be able to fight it with all the inhibitors? Don't just gonna be trapped in your base, aren't you? You're gonna send one person out to do Hex Tech. And you just don't have very good wave clear. I mean, okay, that's a lie. You've got Gwen Corki and Alistair with Leandries. Not Alistair with Leandries, that would be wild. Maokai with Leandries, sorry. Fourth item just got done for Jhin. Hey, Macchiota, good to see you. We're hungry, feed us. Yeah, sorry about that, Lamau. Good to see you. I mean, they're just gonna have to give up Hexol, aren't they? Oh, God. Into Ahri Rumble? Hell, even the Kai'Sa? There's no... If they tag you with a skill shot, you're just gonna run away. You're not gonna run away. Hang on, there we go. Steps on forwards. Gets the kill onto Shadow. Hexol was completed. They're just going to look to run the game. The Equalizer plus the Hextech slow. Linfong doesn't quite die because he gets to go golden. What a blessing. And we go, Moam is there with the Rel. And OMG win a game, baby! We get tiebreakers probably. Oh my God. Watch FPX upset someone now to not get that. To try and force priority bot side. Still be an engaged choice. Lulu, I think, with the Jinx here, might make Neferi's life harder. The Nautilus, a bit more lockdown. I think both make some sense to me. I'll go towards the Nautilus in the end. So, TES, lots of skirmishing. Gyros for a second or two. Hang on this Poppy could be a bit of a deal breaker here, I think, for top esports. 'Cause again, they've got good side laning, skirmishing is solid, but they're only a hard CC. Is this Nico? Everyone else is very conditional, like it's a Jace knockback. You know what I mean? That's very conditional. Room Prison's not bad, and you do have lots of damage. Like, oh my days, 4.5. You got the Nico. Sources of damage. You can certainly brawl your way to victory, but on the other side, you know, Poppy, Talia, Nautilus all linking together to blow people up can be very, very hard indeed. And you've still got good scaling there in the Gwen and the Jinx. Talia's not bad. And the Globals as well to try and respond to this Neferi could be really, really interesting. Good early lane here, actually, from Starry and Mo. And got to the level 2 first. Wasn't expecting that, because Nico normally buys you that pretty freely. Expected a little bit more there, not gonna lie. Flash, Room Prison. Hang on, Lin Fong with the bleed. Nice kill mid. Okay, bot side, Jackie Love and Crisp in danger. Jackie's going to have to hop away, barrier burn, the ignite in trade. Starry and Mo, I'm actually playing this one out pretty well here. Navi trading up with Hang. Needs to be aware of the wall, not quite in range for that steadfast press. That could have been disastrous for Kanavi. Crisp just about alive. Jackie gets the kill, though. Hang on, barriers through. Oh, Starry! No, got excited. And he comes away from an early game with a double kill. Does eventually burn out. The minion aggro is too much. Wow, that's messy. Okay. Starry gets both kills, though. That's pretty huge. But also worth noting, Starry gone and picked up the early Dirk. Likely going towards a collector first. But we have seen, on occasion, the lethality Kai'Sa here. Not lethality, guys. Lethality Jinx is here as Harry in danger. Flashes away. Double daggers. Flash on forwards, and the bleed is enough. Kanavi all over the place on this flipping dog. Yeah, TES domestically or not, TES internationally, we see so much more from them. But I think part of it as well is we've seen what the blueprint is to beat top esports, and it's messed with their 2v2 early. Bring down a jungler. That hasn't really happened at this point. So, another kill down bot side. That's a big one. 3 kills again early for Starry. Holy moly. This is 9. Does a fair decent bit of chunk in there. I don't We'll see how this plays out. Still 4 kills over to Top Esports. Kanavi's going to get an invade. And again, it's actually down a bit of farm here. Has got the reset off a little bit later. Still got a lot of his camps to clear on his other side, so should be okay. Play now coming potentially 3 minutes. Grubs are about to spawn. That's probably going to be our next port of call. Rune Prison. No, I'm dropping away. Does not have the Hex double daggers. Or Darkened Daggers gets it. 3 kills for Kanavi on the doggo. Oh boy, they get a grub. Kanavi will come over and claim the other 2, I fear. There is a bit of Genji to Top Esports, has to be said. Realm Warp bot. Cream gets zapped. Be a bit wary here. I actually feel like this Jinx, especially if she hits level 6, could be a bit threatening here. Cream needs to be a bit worried. Probably back off this. This Jinx could still be a real threat. Okay. Hang topside. Knavi. With the Eclipse now completed, actually you can do a lot of work here, which can be really, really, really scary. Still, big chunks come on through. We shall do what we can. Oh, this top dive. Oh, Harry. This could be not very much fun. Darkened Daggers come on through. Hallowed Mist is decent. Cream flashes away. Gonna get knocked into the wall, and there comes Linfong. Finally kills off the top side. But the response makes it that 1-for-1. Rocket! Sorry, yelled into the microphone there. Nice pickup from Starry, who's having a pretty good day so far today. All right. That is a very scary Jinx.
I thought he was texting. What kind of cereal would it be? Actually, I was on the wrong screen. Let's see. So, like, I moved away. I hadn't realized you guys. I'd actually he was checking on Onivia's chat was the thing. Not gonna lie. What cereal would if I was a cereal, what would I be? That's a genuinely good question. I feel like I would be deliberately different just because I like to be contrarian. Maybe something like porridge. I don't know. Good with honey. Surprising fan of sultanas. In fairness, if OMG win this, we don't get a tiebreaker. I'm just putting that out there. Actually, no, that's not true. Because it's still NIP versus FPX afterwards, isn't it? Oh my god. Porridge is 100% a cereal. Maybe just porridge then. Best eaten hot. With sugar and sultanas, baby. Let's go. To grain and milk. Yeah, that's fair. I'll take it. Does that make cake a cereal? Because flour is a grain, and it's got milk in it a lot of the time. Is cake a cereal, guys? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Starry gets the turret. That's the first turret. This Jinx is scary now. Collects it. It's not gone towards a tier, so I don't think it's going to be the Muramana build. But still, this Jinx could genuinely run over this game now. Kanavi's still strong. Kanavi is still strong. So. Where do we play from here then? Because actually, OMG in an interesting spot because they've not got any grubs, but this Jinx is Giga strong. They've gotten the dragon. They've gotten this Jinx. If the Jinx survives, this is all very playable. They don't. Very, very, very challenging. And in fairness, 369 is up 30 CS. Mid lane is fine. Bot lane's in a weird spot where the Star's just picked up loads of kills for a variety of reasons. I'm a bit worried about this Nico as well. I think there's a world where Chris just keeps getting picked off. So, turret's still going to fall down bot. Nicely done. This Jinx is now, what, 6-1? She's got opportunity second? Oh, God. Yeah, this is going to get interesting, isn't it? And I said Crisp was going to be in danger. He's in danger. 2k lead in bot lane.
have a look at the replay. Because Crisp was a minion, then he was a Rise, and then he was dead. Oh my days, that hook went through the shape changer. What? I guess it hadn't properly spawned yet. Okay. Okay, Navi, call of the pack, is in danger, needs to back away. Over comes Linfong. Gonna look for the shove, can't quite get it. Over comes Harry as well, he's really bloody deep, but so is Crisp. And the low CC is really beginning to hurt here when OMG get to go forwards, because there's no way of disengaging. Who do they lose? Crisp? Flash is on 4 members as well for that? That's going to be Herald to OMG. This was a very tricky comp to play from Top Esports from the beginning. You've still got a very strong Neferi. And there is that. They get to head back towards the Herald. Okay, hang on. Herald were taken. Decent chunk top. No one's dead, but they can potentially use that mid. And the Jinx gets a lot less safe with that mid turret gone. She's gone for this very long range comp for this build into the Ezreal, though. Flash away from Moam was pretty good. And then basically they have to start running the moment the response comes on through. Crisp goes looking and doesn't really get all that much value. Turnaround comes on through. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. So, you need to kill this Jinx or the game is kind of doomed. Black Cleaver's done. Not quite got the Muramana transformation on Jace as a counterpart, but TES in an okay spot item-wise. This Jinx is nearly at 3, though, which is a bit scary. So again, your leads for TES are topside, and that's cool, whereas the gold lead for OMG is condensed, congealed into this Jinx. And if the Jinx dies, everything goes wrong. Harry not having a great time here in this lane. This gold lead is continuing to extend for the Jace. 369 is really ramping up with this one. Jackie backs away. He's at least at 2 items now as well. Nearly got the rower done. What is going on in chat, by the way? Delicious Pilk. Why are we here? Why are we here, guys? What? I'm so confused. What even is Pilk? I look away for a second, and madness is occurring in chat. Normal things. Dragon startup, here we go. Hang on, onto the other side. Cream needs to get on out of there. Just about realm warps away. Nicely escaped. Good timing, Cream. Okay, Jackie. Pilk Initialise, not the pilkening. Why are we all in Pilk? It's Pepsi milk. Oh. Oh no, I don't want Pepsi milk. Amber, why are we here? How do I know what Pilk is? I don't know. If I Google Pilk now, am I going to get in trouble? Hang on, let me Google this. Ooh, damn. This Jinx is scary. 20% HP, just about alive. Kanabi throwing out some Darkened Daggers. Dragon secured, Rune Prism's down. Linfong's got nowhere to go. Ezreal gets it. Hang on. Can they go a bit further? Do you have another angle in? Starry needs to be careful. Shock Blast. Barrier by Starry, who also flashed away. It is. Pilk is dirty soldier made by dirty soda made by combining Pepsi and milk. That sounds awful. I don't want to deal with that. The Pilk up, like what? Twitch, why are you like this? I'm sorry to the other chats. We're being red pilked. Oh no, is Pilk healthy? No, it is not. Does not contain nutritional value, but here we go. Starry ended up taking a lot of damage. That rocket does a lot though, because it's the opportunity build. You hurt quite a lot. Linfong then walks on over and then kind of just dies. That's not great from Linfong. I'm not going to lie to you all. Okay. You pull away. Hang on. Hang on, Hound's Pursuit. That's not just hanging around. I need to let the really good ult. Does so. Moa might still die here. Not quite. Good ult from Hang. Just out of range on that one. They get out of Khan, though. Hang had to back away. Kanavi just solos that down with the Serpent's Fan completed now as well. He's very, very scary. Oh, my days. No real response. Gwen shoves up bot side. You've got 3 turrets to 3 turrets. The gold lead is basically... It's somewhat ornamental in some ways because it's where the gold lead is. Like this Kanavi is really, really strong. Jace is really, really strong. But we're still running into these team comp issues where you need to be this fair because basically you just need to 1v1 whoever you turn up as top esports. This is very much a hands check because you have no CC. Your team fighting is lackluster. Grabs your hand, but oh god, it's covered in Pilk. Why are we still on Pilk? I don't want to deal with Pepsi milk. I want to deal with Pepsi milk. Dragon's up. Jackie's going to get jumped on. No, not quite into the wall. That was nearly really cool from OMG. Hang on, it's still going to kill Jackie. Nice combo. Can they turn Baron off that? I think they can. Kanavi, is he going to come over and fight this? I mean, Jackie, what do you even do there? He's got flash. I think it would have been maybe a bit pointless to run. Kanavi's still around. He can still be pretty scary. Send the clone forward. Flash to knock the dog into the wall. Goes untargetable. Jump onto 369 with the depth charge. Hook back onto Hill. And it leaves him alone because they realm walked away. OMG. Oh boy. Hang on. They could turn back to Baron here. They're going to turn for Dragon, at least on the other side of top esports, to get something out of this. But that will be Baron. Big moment for them. I mean, like, Jackie getting caught there is disastrous. And the problem is afterwards, right? You see that huge pickup and stuff. They get away with some wave shift. They get second dragon. But, like, this is looking tough, actually, for top esports. Ah, man. Top Esports had a weird day today. They had a really tight game against NIP. This game, they drafted very... I don't know how to put it. It's a very challenging draft. It's an arrogant draft. Lots of lane prio, lots of damage, not a lot of setup. They got out to Khan, which is good news. They are still got this position where the 369 is nearly unmatchable in a side lane. Just this Jinx is really, really scary. Nymaera, Ocean Pilk ignored me. I'm sorry about that. Let me ask you this. What do you think the P in LPL stood for all this whole time? Stop. Stop. League of Pilk Legends. God damn, this whole conversation is wild. Twitch is losing its brain. It's been a weird day of games, folks. Starry's at 4 items. He's got Lord Doms alongside the opportunity. He's got all the armor pen in the world. What's he gonna go to last? Bloodthirsty, probably, because there's no point going crit from this point. Well, maybe. 50% crit. No, 75%. I'm gonna see an Infinity Edge here, but the Bloodthirsty keeps him alive. Hank does not enjoy the stacking of the Black Cleaver blood. Bleed, bleed, bleed. That's the term. Okay, Harry's just dead. Oh my god, hang on. Tries to snip his way through. Goes golden. Kanavi's just going to back away, right? On the other side, fight's occurring. That's an important kill. 369 gets that. Tree Shot Barrage cleans the wave. Linfeng has to run away with the ult. Ooh, not the best Baron shove ever, that. So, hang on. Crisp needs to be careful. Oh, man, Nico problems. Flashes away. Man, Nico's not having a great time here. We spread Pilk to another person. Stop this. Let Pilk go. Death Cap's done for Rise. Arm Guard 2. You got 3.5 items for this Ezreal. You got 4 items done for Jace. 3.5 items done for Kanavi. Like, you have now got a lot of damage. This game might go late, but it's going to play out from there. So, Dragon spawning. Mo, I'm going to be spotted out by the Shape Changer. Kanavi has a whole pack running with him. Look at Linfeng looking for the wall. Cream can still go golden, hasn't had to go through yet. Pop Blossom is big. Starry's running away, but he's got Kanavi on top of him. Oh my god, they got the kill. Backing away. Now the Nautilus dies as well. Harry trying to snip his way through as much as he can. The shields come on through Cream. Can time it out, wait for the snip again. Just not enough. Finally, Kanavi gets on top of Starry, and the game will surely end from that. I think we might be looking at a triple MVP day from top esports jungler. That was really important. Oh, Starry, what a game from him. He genuinely tried, but they've got a wave. They've got enough grubs. Gonna get a respawn from Heng, try to clear out the wave, and doesn't manage to do so. Not fully. They need to defend these minions. They have a teleport. They do from Jace. They might not even need it. It's gone. GG. Top esports win it. Are you sure, NIP? They are. Okay. Okay. So, Singed. Very annoying to chase down. You got 3 very short range. Well, we've got 4 melees. Well, 3 melees. Plus Kalista is short range and Nico is reliant on all-inning. Singed could be very annoying to deal with in Neferi. Just keep running down the poison. Bye, Grumpy. Well. Got to pause straight away. Oh, good. Now bring the camera up. Hi, guys. It's Leaf's fault. A few years ago, I stumbled upon either a Reddit or Quora thread of people reminiscing about this drink of their grandparents would make them during summer, called Pilk. It's a roughly 50-50 mix of Pepsi and milk, mixed together and best with ice. I was perversely intrigued by what I thought must be an awful tasting combo, but tried it and discovered it's like drinking melted Pepsi float. Allegedly, it's a big Mormon thing. So smooth, so sweet. Since then, I've discovered Dr. Pepper is my cola of choice, while milk is the way to go, and will order it publicly occasionally. It's an awesome hangover refresher. MF may be very charming. She's also... Oh, yes, gameplay! Thank God for that. Oh, and we escape. If that Shanty was real, probably running around like a singed in that stadium, yeah. Actually, no. We have no idea. It might not be true. We're back into game. Oh, my days. Finally. I'm glad I ran that bloody pre-roll thing. Otherwise, we would be out of it. Oh, doing B. Hang on, he's just dead. Oh, nicely done, Shadow. Nicely done, Shadow. Had a really rough game on the Maokai. That's a much better start. Shanji has reset early for the early amp toad. Oh, he's on Arcane Singed as well. Last time we saw it was BLG Amazing J. Amazing J playing it 2,436 days ago. Oh, not quite the Ren. Got it anyway. Oh my God. FPX. Off to the races. That's huge. Leave is still scary here. You've got to be a bit away. He can do a lot of damage even in a 1v2. Oh my God, he gets another. I was just chatting some NLC stuff in the background. We're prepping for the next split. Okay. 3-0 for FPX in the early game. 2 kills onto the Neferi, 1 onto the Callista. Few summoners had to be popped to make this happen, though. That's worth noting. Could make this bot lane in particular vulnerable to a gank from Aki. Shanji pushing some shimmer out onto the rift, and Ambessa going, stop that. Silas suffering a bit here. Kaya will be able to pick up most of this wave under turret. But I think some of that skirmishing has meant he's dropped a wave or two. Shadow. Could theoretically punish this. Gonna see that misses the daggers. I don't know if you win that, mate. Just leave. Yeah. And the dogs all die really hard to that poison, actually. That's gonna be interesting to track, isn't it? So, Aki and Shanji clear out these grubs really fast. And again, Singed is... Hang on. Assumes cleansed. Oh, leaves in so much danger. Flash down. On the other side, Vi comes cease and desisting in. Shanji about to burn out. But got level 6 flash on 4 from Sheer. Public execution after. Doomby in danger. Throws down the Aegis assault. But he is a dead man. Aki gets over the wall. Grub secured. Another 2 kills and 1 grub. FPX. Oh my days, NIP are in trouble. Leave's got very little to work with here. They'll have a bailout and a dream. But they are caught under that turret and not having fun. Oh, hang on. Shadow just turned up, gets 2. Leave's going to bail himself out, does not come back. Now, Doomby in a pretty interesting position. Shadow can still do quite a lot of work. They will get that one, but the shield vault. But again, it's another kill over to Shadow. Doomby burns his ult, dies again. You still get multiple kills and assists over to the other side. This Neferi is going to be next to unkillable. Upgrade from dog to wolf. Oh, my days. Fenrir on the rift. Let's have a look back at this Grubs play. His Shadow is here. W on Shanji's ult. Beautiful play from Shadow. What a time to get that call of the pack out. And then Shanji will burn out. That gives not quite level 6 over to Shadow, but there's a public execution for Sheer. And then Doomby nowhere to go, really, even with that Conqueror stacked. Reminder, if FPX win this, they lock 3rd. And poor old OMG, despite their heroics earlier today, will still be 4th. It's a big gold lead to FPX, and it's in a great spot. The Neferi, way ahead of curve. Bot lane, way ahead of curve. Nico with gold is good value because it gets you to those AP items you really want to not just be a bot. Have a bit more threat when you go forwards. Aki actually needs to be a bit afraid there. Eviscerate forwards, Dark in Dackers, and that second pair goes wide. We can fight over these. There's on the other side. Big chunk on its way. This Varus still hurts with the poke. He's gone for the Halo Blades, not the Comet, for a few more autos here and there. Alright, Doomby. Careful, Aki's around, they can turn this. Watch for the shield vault combo. Nice! Care's in danger, will go down. Into the backline goes Shadow, goes untargetable. Leave now in danger, Pop Blossom up. And down goes Leave as Asum lands that rend. Over the wall they go. Doomby trying to escape with the ult, but will not! Man dropped into a 6-foot grave. Nymaera abandoned the LPL for LEC? Yes, he has. I'm sorry for that. Poor taste, what can I say? But it means I'm here holding the fort, guys. Hello. Let's have a look at this. Because Care sees this, interrupts Doomby on the reset. Shadow's here, and you see Aki around the corner, so they think they can play this. They've got the bot lane roaming up to the river, but look who's not far behind. It's the Nico. Lands a bit of damage. The Pop Blossom onto Leave means he dies. That Pierce comes on through, secures that one. Doomby flashes over the wall, but there's still a Hound's Pursuit. And he dies as well. Shadow at this point is so strong. He's an item and a half. A Neferi on 11 minutes. He is terrifying right now. Free ass boots too. Sheer stepped onto Shanji, gets the slow, can't run that fast. Well, throw down the ultimate there, by the way, I think. Is that the ult? Is that the ult on Singed? The big splat on the ground? I always forget. Okay, Aki goes into the enemy jungle and is immediately taken out by Asuma says, no, you can't be here. It's a big lead for this Kalista now. 2-0-3, up in CS. Set of grubs. This is looking pretty good. Cat with the Chains of Corruption stolen. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Chains of Corruption lands. Oh, leave. Congratulations, you hit one. Might try and turn it around. There's a bailout. Okay, leave. Not bad. Not bad at all. Going 1 for 1 there is about as good as you can get. Kez could be a bit upset about that, actually, I think. Still, TP's in. Hang on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Pop Blossom onto Aki. In comes Pantheon. Where's everyone else? Assume not here. Aki trying to find an angle. Hostile token for a bit wide, but hang on. Whole of the pack, and the ult from Asum buys some time. Thrown away from Dwayne. BP God does finally drop alongside that Nico, but the damage is through. Man drop! Out to safety, but he still dies from the bleed. The bleed from the Darkin Daggers brings him low. Ghostblade pop. Nothing to be done. Oh, Doimby. He thought he'd escaped, but no. And that pain lingers as the Darkin Blade does its work. And at this point, you're thinking, Aki's in danger. Shadow Jakisuke running at him. And honestly, that Fate's Call did a lot of work. Dwayne knows he's likely dead, so he gets as much damage down as he can before he falls. And it ends up being PP God who picks up the kill anyway. And the bleed, too much. Comes on down, burns out, dead. He's got a Black Cleaver pre-14 minutes? Holy moly, this Neferi is insanely fed. Like, no one matches this dog. Shadow is very feast or famine. This is the feast side of it. Well, over we go. Shadow picks that one up. Early snowball now. Okay, dive bot, Doimby is so dead. Oh, this teleport's gonna suck. This teleport's gonna suck. Shanji's here. Hang on. There we go. Hound's Pursuit forward. Chains of Corruption. Flip back. Shanji's sword will burn likely. Bleed's not quite enough. Got the shield. PP God flashing for the hostile takeover. Into the back line goes Shadow. And that's a burnout with the bailout. Not enough. Leaves the stage. Exit. Game right. Neferi. Fear by name, fear by nature. This dog is running wild. Was there ever a leash that she had to slip from? $12.05. Pre-16 minutes. Hang on. Here we go. Aki, that is not an even fight, my friend. They jump on the support. Who's got a Fate's Call? Nico, I choose you. Doimby. Think we're ready to go to the next in line. Where is Doincy when you need him? 1-8-2. My goat is getting cooked, blokes. Hang on, Cheers going top now. Have a look at this replay. Doomby, level 9. Oh boy. Doesn't have a lot of fun. Perfect execution. Ensures he dies. Shadow drops aggro with the call of the pack. Shanji has TP'd in and regrets it. Care steals the ult from Singed. And Shadow, wait. Flash Eviscerate. There's a bailout on top, but Shadow still has a call of the pack at this point. So much ability haste. And gets to jump on forward for even more. Really nicely played. Shadow's feeling it. Look at that man. He's so pleased. Can you blame him after today? You win this, you immediately go into third, fourth. And on the back of a player that I think many were raising some eyebrows on. It's not been great performances today. This is a massive statement in the opposite. Great stuff from him. Raised in Italy, played in Europe. Now over in the LPL. Not had the easiest journey, to say the least. This game, though, it's a walk in the park, and we know how much dogs like those. Shadow. Oh, Hacky. I don't know, my friend. Full item ahead. What's he going third here? Might be Shojin, honestly. Don't blame him. Dog sent forward. The bleed comes on through. Atakan, still 2.5 minutes of spawning. Stolen, cease to desist. Over comes Shadow. Hound's pursuit. Gets knocked back. Can still eviscerate forward, but that means Doomby has nowhere to go. Does not have any damage. Aki now in danger. Another eviscerate. Another kill. Bailout is in. No avail. They're just going to keep going. Pikachu is summoned in the form of an eco. Leave is once again left to the Wolves. How many dog puns can I get in a cast? This is a big old win con now. Herald's inventory. Gonna go down into this tier 2. Wherever Nefiri goes, you lose the fight. How do you stop her? You need a really impressive cease and desist into Chains of Corruption, into Vault Breaker combo, something like that. You basically need to not let her use W. Or make her use W and then punish her after. This is going to be very, very hard. Shanji's on vision still, by the way. It's not been about the Singed. We wonder whether it could be. Nope. Not today. Where are the scores? Yeah, if you look at the top, again, to new people who are new to League, that's super fine. Look at the top of the screen. It says 24 kills to 4. That's right at the top. Just to the left, you can see the gold, 40.8 to 30.6. 10,000 gold in the lead is very, very significant. Nearly unassailable. Gent to say that if it's a 10k lead, there is no way back, basically. When it does happen, it is a shock beyond all shocks. This early on as well, very, very significant. 4 turrets to none as well. If you go out just beyond that again, towards the edge of the scoreboards. Again, that's a lot of big map control difference as well. Very, very significant number of metrics going the way of FPX for the non-league viewers. Welcome, by the way. You're so welcome here. Happy to teach you the game. 4.4k lead individually for Shadow, who I think will be, understandably, pretty much guaranteed to grab MVP. Now, FPX, don't throw this. Atakan being started. You have got 3 people doing it. Assume with the Ren should make this unassailable. No Baron for a while. Shadow will be left to manage this. Smite. And somehow, some way, it's Voracious. Huh. What can you do with the Voracious Atakan? I wonder whether I would have kept that. And time that with one of the other objectives. Try and use it to push for tier 2s. Play really aggressively with it. At least Aki's managed to farm okay. He's not been involved in it. The problem is Shadow is ahead in farm just about, and also involved in 20 kills, 14 of which he's picked up. Normally, you have to pick or choose a little. And with this kind of ability to just dive forwards, what do you do? 2B throws up an Aegis Assault, flashes into that grave for the 10th time this game. Oh no, stolen chains of corruption. Bailout comes on through. PP God's in danger now as well. Shadow keeps hopping on forward. Remember, they've still got these withdrawals to work with. Flash from Care. Cease and desist means nothing here. Jumping onto Aki will Vault Breaker away. Still bleeding for a hell of a lot of damage. And they'll just break the inhibitors. Okay. You've got withdrawals. They don't have to lose any yet. They could just play by rolling their face on the keyboard. And generally speaking, ninjas in pajamas may need to switch those pajamas more permanently, because they'll be sleeping for a very, very long time. This has been the most dominant game I've seen in LPL, possibly all year. Finally gets some of those withdrawals, but the turnaround's still brutal! Care's still there, the withdrawal's still coming on through. Okay, you got rid of the knee cover, that's Hound Pursuit! Alright, let's go! Shadow sends him to the Shadow Realms in 22.5 minutes. 31 kills to 4. Bomb plus Phoenix. Eviscerate. Incinerate ninjas in pajamas. It is brutal.